All right. Hello. Welcome,
Hello.
everyone, to another episode of the pod, the BXR Podcast. We got the regular old crew today, and we got a lot to talk about. There's, some Call of Duty news, some Halo news, some Titanfall. Well, sad news, I guess, if you're a Titanfall fan. And, the live service apocalypse has been happening. So we got all sorts of shit to talk about. So, and we also have, the controversial Harry Potter game we got to talk about. So we get everything in one podcast, dude. So, all right, you guys know the deal. Why don't we? I mean, everyone here. So I don't think we need to do intros again. So why don't we just hop into what we've been playing? So, how about Mr. Pop Q? He goes first. I'm sure it's Halo 3, and that's about it.
I'm just playing some Halo 3 doubles on MCC, and that's been pretty much it. Running into some cheaters from time to time, so it's been a pretty good experience.
Hell yeah, dude.
But that's about it, because I'd like to play OG Halo 3. I tweeted about that the other day, how I kind of wish MCC didn't exist, because if it didn't exist, OG Halo 3 would have been more populated for longer, and I would have been able to enjoy that. And but yeah, MCC is the best I got. So
my only disagreement with that tweet, because I will give you that OG H3 had way more content. I mean, it just had all the playlists. It had the ranking system, which, I mean, MCC has the 1 to 50, but it's different. And so you had more in OG H3, but it wasn't on PC, and I don't play games on Xbox 360. So
yeah, I totally get that. And that's what sucks about it. But it's like, and I completely understand why people would take MCC over OG Halo 3. I'm not saying I don't understand that. It's just, for me, what I enjoy most in Halo is playing ranked matchmaking. And that experience was far superior in Halo 3 for me. You had that 1 to 50, you had the XP rank per playlist, pregame lobbies, veto system, better UI, 4-player theater, saved films, which are both features I'd still use today. So, I'd tough it out through the 30 FPS to get that experience back. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I will say too, I feel like a lot of the H3 grinders would also probably say like there was more of a skill gap in the OG H3, because it wasn't as easy to laser people.
Oh, I've been saying that a lot recently. I mean, it's real apparent how much easier MCC is now, mainly because of things like, uncapped frame rate, the modern aiming. It's a lot of people agree it's much easier to snipe on mouse and keyboard. They updated the shot reg several years back, where it kind of feels like the bullet velocity has been sped up for the BR. So yeah, MCC is a lot easier, and I hate that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess there's that sunrise thing. Have you tried that at all?
Nah, because it seems like you have to be like playing with somebody who has like a JTAG Xbox or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you could just consistently play. You'd have to like organize it.
Yeah, for sure. Fair enough. All right. Why don't I go second? So I've been playing a wide variety of shit this past week. Try and mix it up a little bit. But let's see. Hold on. My podcast production skills are lacking. But yeah, so I think the big thing that I've been playing also, I want to say Delta. Thank you, dude. Delta's the first donator to the BXR podcast, dude. We're all rich now. We all just made $2, boys. So
dude, we're going full time.
Yeah, this is a full time podcast now. But the main thing that I've been checking out is this game, and I think the easiest way to describe it is an extraction shooter, but you don't actually shoot anything, and that's Dark and Darker. And I know Jared's been playing this one a little bit too, but basically it's this like dungeon crawler where you try and kill other players and NPCs, and you pick up loot, and then you try and extract without dying. And it's an experience. And I can't tell if I like the game or if I think it's absolutely trash. I'm somewhere in the middle, because there's moments where you're playing and you're like, this is really fun. And then it's also like the shittiest, jankest experience in terms of gameplay. Like the movement speed is just slow as fuck. The attack animations are really slow. You have to stand there and open doors for like 10 seconds. Like I don't know. It's an interesting game.
Hey,
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. I open doors much faster as a rogue.
All right. Well, some of us aren't playing the door opening class, so we're stuck to opening doors like a normal speed, dude.
The
There's a
door
certain
opening
skill-
guy in Game of Thrones. See?
Yeah. There's a certain skill that when it comes to opening a door. Okay.
That's right. Or be a barbarian, just smash him down.
That's true. The
You know?
barbarian
You
can
just
just
chose the wrong class.
yeah, you can straight smash the doors or the chest too. You don't even have to you don't have to open the chest. You just smash them on down. But so yeah, this game's currently it's like in playtest right now. So it's probably a long ways away from. I don't even know if it's close to an early access release. So there's probably a good amount of polish that can come. Like currently the class tree system isn't even live in the game. So I imagine it'll improve over time. But I think part of me wonders if this just is getting that weird like indie hype where a game kind of pops off for like a few months or like a month and then just everyone forgets about it. Like I just don't know if this game has, if it's like, I feel like it's too jank to be like a long term
I will have
game.
to say, I mean, maybe, but I'll have to say, this is probably the most like unique from Tarkov that it can maybe survive on its own. You know what I mean?
It's
like
definitely
different.
definitely very different since it's like medieval themed and you got like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're not
they
like
tried.
running
This
around
side didn't try to copy Tarkov, right? It's just try to like use the genre and then
Yeah.
put a
Yeah,
medieval skin on it.
it's like Morrowind if it had multiplayer and you
Yeah.
tried to kill each other.
shooting. Yeah, and the combat feels like it's straight out of the same era as Morrowind, so it hasn't improved.
It is people that enjoy that, I guess.
You mentioned the movement and the attack speeds are slow. I was watching you play it the other day, and I was like, "Why is this game look like it's in slow motion?"
Oh,
That's
dude,
exactly what it looked like.
the default move speed is like a brisk, not even a brisk. It's just a slow stroll down the road. Like you're walking by the lake. You're really taking it all in. And then so like as the fighter class, right? I spawn with a shield by default. I'm pretty sure that blocking stuff with the shield doesn't work. Like half the NPCs just hit you through the shield.
Yeah, well, it actually has a really cool system when it comes to blocking because like if it's a downward swing, you gotta aim up. If it's a sideways, you gotta like you actually have to aim in the direction it's swinging from. So it's
Okay.
like
It's
the
like For
hitboxes.
Honor.
Yeah, it's like the hitboxes in this game are unreal. Like if you're just like a pixel off, like stabbing a dagger, you will miss right by the ear. Like there's no little box around the weapons or players. You have to be precise when you're attacking or blocking or whatever you're doing.
So
Which kinda
basically,
adds
it's
skill
it's
to
a
the
skill
game.
issue.
Yeah, it's a skill issue.
Hey, I'm bad at the game. I'll admit it, dude. But yeah, I did laugh. So when I went to make a video on this, I went to go find the trailer, and the dev team must be extremely small because the game doesn't even have like an actual trailer. It's very very thrown together. But all right, that's one of the games I've been playing. Luke, what have you been up to?
I've just been playing Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah, that's about it.
Dude,
Trying to get
here-
the skills up for the tournament this weekend.
yeah, have you been watching it? Me and Kevin were watching before you got on.
Invitational?
Yeah, dude, we were watching.
Or, yeah.
I watched some team lose, and then I also got kind of annoyed because half the round they just watch in like the overhead view, and I think that was weird. But I'm also not a Siege kid, so maybe that's normal.
It makes sense. I think they usually do it.
Yeah. All right.
Because,
well,
I mean,
fair
for a
enough.
lot of time, it's just setting up and not much action.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
so, like,
it's just a lot of
The overhead
walking.
camera is probably better than watching some guy, I don't know, put down a camera. Or some shit.
That's probably true.
Mhm.
Like doing this around each corner.
Yeah, like actually they fixed that. Sadly, you can't do that anymore like that.
Oh wow!
What?
Well,
There used to be a head glitch where you like if you spam it, like there's a chance you don't get hit, but they fixed it a while
Oh,
ago.
they fixed it, dude.
Did you know that the Siege had like, so they were 5 seasons in, and they were like, oh, this game's kind of janky. Let's just do this season. We'll call it Operation Health, and it's just a season where we do bug fixes, no new content. I don't know. They just did a 3-month season, like I don't know, where they fixed the game.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what
That's
Infinite
perfect.
needs.
They've been doing that-
Unfortunately,
they did
Infinite
that.
also needs
No, they've been doing that
content.
for
Infinite
the last-
needs a
They've been doing that for the last year and a half.
Emergency.
That's how we got 2 maps all year.
Dude,
we
but
don't
those
talk
two
about that.
maps, those two maps are goated, brother. Those are the best 2 maps we've ever seen.
They're as iconic as Guardian from Halo 3, I think.
Oh, for sure. I'm
Yeah.
gonna 10
Absolutely.
years from now, dude. I'm gonna be raving about Catalyst to all my friends.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
even.
I can't wait
Is
for
that
the
the new map?
remaster of it.
Yeah. Halo 7 Forge comes out. First thing I'm doing. Recreating
Yeah.
Catalyst.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, what have you been playing?
What I've been playing? Well, we've been playing some DMZ together. You and I have been kind of on that grind a little bit, just kind of also trying out solo queue version of it. And, it's an interesting experience soloing DMZ. Wouldn't recommend, but if you're looking just to play Call of Duty and not have to worry about whatever, then yeah, play it. Played a little bit of the new Halo content for the Forge maps that came in. Actually, really cool maps. Kind of surprised it actually came in before Season 3's release, which they said they were going to do that then. Other than that, we did stream the first 2 hours of the Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy on GameStop stream. It was actually pretty cool. Graphics are amazing. Character creation is pretty good. Dialogue's good, and it just looks like a good game. I mean, it's just I don't really much else to say because the whole first it's like a narrative game, right? The first 2 hours is all just introduction, setup, pretty much. So you never really got much into the gameplay. I think there was only 1 or 2 situations where you actually fight anything for the first 2 hours of this game. And but more importantly, I'm really salty that Domino's did not slice my cheesy bread. So I just have a big loaf of cheese basically.
Roll it up.
Yeah, roll it
No,
up like a
that's-
burrito.
That's
And
perfect.
so that's really the biggest struggle I've had all week. Really, it's just a non-pre-cut
Yeah,
stuffed
that's
cheesy
fucked.
bread from Domino's. It's bro, I'm just getting trolled over here.
That's rough. Yeah. So I will say the Hogwarts Legacy looks really good. And we talked about it a little bit in the last podcast, but I actually think it's really cool that developer went from making random movie tie-ins to this is technically a movie themed game, I guess, because of the IP, but
Yeah.
it seems so much grander in scale and reach than Cars 3 Driven to Ride or whatever the fuck it's called. So I
It's
feel
a little different.
yeah, I feel like it's cool to see a developer like that have a big opportunity and kind of what it seems kind of hit it out of the park in terms of the game itself. Obviously the game has the whole drama around it, which is honestly kind of stupid in my opinion. But did you guys see that website where you can go to check if a Twitch streamer has streamed that
Yeah,
Wizard
I have
game?
I have your name in there. I keep refreshing. I'm just waiting.
I haven't
waiting
played
for you to
it,
show
but
up.
that's not why.
It's I don't know why everybody has early access. It's everybody has it.
It's the deluxe
That's because
edition.
Yeah, is that what it is?
hours
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Mie shit.
That's
But
the
I
funny
like
thing.
that. I like that, Popku. I like that you're
What?
preying on the Raj's downfall. I'll join you.
Well, actually,
Thanks,
funny
guys,
thing was
thanks.
I was supposed to get a code through GameStop. They're like, yeah, we'll get you a code whatever platform you want. So I was like, okay, I'll hold off on pre-ordering so that I can just get the game for free, right? But then the 7th rolls around, no code to be found anywhere, and then we have PlayStation copies. I'm like, damn it! And so I went to go get the deluxe edition so I could play that night. Turns out you had to pre-order the game to get the early access. So now I'm just waiting until the 10th to be able to play my Wizard game so I can be a bigot.
Hell yeah.
Dude,
Right on.
hell yeah. That's the spirit, Kevin.
That's what I'm waiting for too. Can't
No.
wait.
I was telling Kevin this before we played. I think it's a game I will play, but I'll probably just wait till it goes on sale because it's with it being a long RPG, I'm not dying to play it right now. So it's I'll just pick it up when it's not $70. But from what I've seen, the game looks really, really good. I mean, I haven't played a Harry Potter game in, I don't even know the last
Yeah, I
time.
played the PS2 one. That was very good.
There was a
back
there
in the
was a PS2 one. I remember doing some platforming as Mr. Harry.
There was also a co-op one. Maybe that was the same one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I did do a Wii co-op Harry Potter game with my wife a year ago. I can't remember what the name of it, but yeah, it's you can just on screen. It's it's Lego Harry Potter was what it was, and just little kids Harry Potter Lego game. It was fun.
Yeah. So I do find it funny that all these people were talking about how they were gonna boycott the game, and it literally has broken records on Twitch for single player streaming numbers. And when I looked yesterday, it had 500,000 concurrent players on Steam, and the game isn't even fully released yet. I think we learned that those people are just loud and not actually the majority of gamers, and their opinion should be ignored.
Yeah, that's
I think the controversy just helped the game,
Well,
honestly.
And it's just crazy too how some people are trying to say you can't review the game on just how good the game is itself, which is just crazy to me. As a professional, when you're reviewing a game, you cut out all outside factors. You just go, is this game good or not? Yes or no? You shouldn't let anyone's personal opinions change that fact. You shouldn't rate a game bad just because the person who made it might be bad or is related to it as bad.
Yeah, it's not even the
Like,
person
I
who
think that's
fucking made
ridiculous.
it. It's the
I
person who
know.
wrote books. Like, she didn't even
Also-
write anything for the game, dude. It's so tilting. Like, literally, like, it would.
15 years ago too.
Yeah.
I don't fucking.
Well,
I don't know.
And you know, that's the other thing too. A lot of people said buying the game doesn't help the devs. Well, one of the devs came out and said we get bonuses if it does well.
Yeah.
So I mean, either he's lying or it's the truth. So I mean,
Literally, it does help the devs.
yeah, like literally. So
You know what's like really stupid about it? Like these people want to boycott the game over what she said, but I'm willing to bet that many, if not all of these people, have purchased products from other people, other companies who have done or said things 1,000 times worse than her. You know?
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
It's definitely
exactly. That's exactly yeah.
because
It's
like I'm wearing Nike
This is
pants,
the
right?
focus.
yeah.
They're probably made by child hands, right?
oh yeah.
But like, what am I gonna do? Not wear Nike
right?
pants. Like,
I don't know how many children made this sweatshirt, but I'm gonna keep wearing
yeah,
it.
like it is just.
It is what it is. You
No,
can't
we,
do nothing
uh,
about it.
We unfortunately live in like a corporate society where like everything is kind of fucked, and if you
Yeah.
dive deep into every product or game you consume, most likely somewhere up the chain there's some fucked shit going on. And so like this one just happened to be a very notable person that just said some fucked shit, and it's very obvious that they're tied to Harry Potter, whereas like you can kind of like cognitively like disassociate Nike sweatshops from like your sweatpants, right? Even though they have the word sweat sweat in them. But like
Oh,
you get the
There's
point.
no
You're like
Nike sweatshop.
There's no face behind the clothing or shoes.
yeah, exactly. Or like the Blizzard shit, where like obviously Blizzard just fucking massively sexually harassed women for who knows how many years, right? But like everyone still plays Blizzard games, right? And it's like
Yeah, like
I
people
guess
are
it's
gonna
'cause you
cancel
just-
Diablo 4,
yeah,
like
that's-
the same way.
I feel like by this logic they should, right? By this logic, no one should play Overwatch. You definitely shouldn't buy Diablo 4 if you're
No
playing
Disney
World of
movies.
Warcraft. Yeah,
Which all that is way worse than whatever words that J.K.
Here's
Rowling
the thing.
said.
What
She's
I
just
do
an
not
idiot.
understand. Yeah, what I do not understand. This is some crazy British lady that was almost homeless that wrote a book for 9-year-olds. Why the fuck does anyone give a fuck about her, right? Like what she says. Like this lady, I think, was almost homeless. This lady might actually be fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like I don't fucking care.
yeah.
Just like I don't know.
I think that's the problem is like good people don't always make good art, right? So like
Right? She's tight. She made something that a lot of people like, but that's it.
yeah,
Like that's not an extension of her. That's just something it's just like an art, like some I guess art she created, right? But that is detached from I guess her personal opinions or whatever the fuck she has going on.
Well, also the funny thing is like the content that's in the game and actually also in the books. Like, yeah, there are some parts of the books that are kind of, I would say, I would agree that are problematic, but not like straight up like terrible.
It's also
Um,
20-year-old book now, right, or more.
Yeah, right.
Um,
But the book generally tries to push a narrative of like coming together we're stronger kind of thing, like overcoming differences and like stuff like that. And then like you got the person who writes it who like literally is all about division and like all that kind of stuff. But she was able to separate herself from her art. I don't know why we can't either.
I mean, I never knew that Harry Potter was this deep. I always thought it was like fucking wizard Hitler versus some kid. Like I don't know, dude. Like
I mean,
dude, that's the
story. I don't
German
know, dude.
version, dude.
I mean, it's really that far off, honestly. Like, yeah, but like ultimately, spoilers. He loses, because evil always loses in every single story.
Dude, you just spoiled Harry
Holy
Potter Part
shit,
2,
dude.
whatever
And
it's
I'm
called.
glad I watched the movies
Oh,
finally, or else it would have been ruined.
Dude, I can't believe you spoiled the fucking franchise that's been around
Just
for
drop it.
literally
I don't
my whole
care.
life.
Drop, Mike, drop, man. I don't give a fuck.
No, but to wrap it back, yeah, the game looks really good. Eventually, I do want to play it. Jared, I agree with you. I actually think it's extremely annoying that every review for this game felt the need to go on a monologue about J.K. Rowling. Like, I get it. Like you want people to not bitch at you, but like how many of those people that went on the long paragraph plus monologue about her actually did that because they cared about that versus they didn't want people to be like, why are you playing reviewing the game, bro? And it's like I feel like there's been so many companies that are like,
Exactly. Yeah.
well, we want to do this because obviously, or I don't remember the company, but there was one games outlet that said they wouldn't review Hogwarts Legacy because of the controversy around it, but then they proceeded to run like 10 articles like semi-connected to things happening about the game, and it's like, what the fuck was the point here? Like, yeah, you didn't review the game, but instead you just covered. I don't remember which publication it was.
IGN reviewed it, and they didn't mention they didn't mention Rowling in their review, but their pinned comment below the video, they had to mention her down there because they just had to say something. They just couldn't avoid it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is yeah, I think it's more just like a vocal minority kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just not tied with this game at all. Just using the IP, which probably Warner Brothers owns rather than she actually does. She probably just gets royalties from it,
Oh yeah, if she gets royalties, she's already a billionaire. What's it gonna change?
I mean, it's also like one of the top streamers, Hasanabi, right? He said like he wasn't gonna stream Hogwarts Legacy just because he's like, I just don't want people coming into my chat and just being annoying. I don't want to put other words on top of that, just being annoying.
Look at girlfriend reviews.
Yeah, that was sad.
Got chased off stream like that. They make incredible content. That was so shitty to see.
Yeah, I think the most annoying part about like this is, so instead of taking your outrage toward J.K. Rowling, who actually said things that are bad, random ass people on the internet are just harassing people trying to play a video game, and it's like, sick, bro. I'm sure you're accomplishing what you set out to, and I'm sure this isn't just like you feel like flaming someone today. I'm sure you have great deep investment in this cause, that instead of actually like doing anything worthwhile, you're just flaming a person on Twitch. Like, you've accomplished great things today. Good job.
This isn't stopping anything. Like you accomplished nothing. Yeah, they're just impression farming, trying to get fake internet points for it to feel more like what they say matters. Just attention. He was hungry for attention, really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and also they're just feeding into the culture war and like the divide and shit. So, we don't worry about other shit.
Oh, there's also, I've also seen people that are like, I'm buying 10 copies of Hogwarts Legacy now to screw over the wokies, and it's you're just as bad as those people.
That shit's stupid.
I'm just saying it's just stupid. It's like it's just like has become part of this weird culture war that is there to distract us from, I don't know, fucking healthcare. Or some shit, some important shit like that. I don't know, dude. It's just
literally
stupid.
Literally.
It's just annoying. It's just like exhausting at this point. Like everything has to be like this weird divide. I don't know.
But
enjoy the fucking wizard game.
Yeah, we're like fighting amongst each other, and then Warner Bros is laughing their way to the bank.
You're right, yeah. And then Warner Bros makes millions, and
Warner Brothers is, dude. They are probably like all on board for the controversy. They probably like, maybe there was some worries before the game came out, but like the second they saw like the pre-orders and the numbers come in, dude, they probably just roll. Like the execs are probably like, dude, we should get her out there to say more fuck shit. Like they're probably like, this has directly led to more money, which is probably the opposite of what people thought. But
J.K. Rowling, what do you think about January 6th?
But
feed them.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see as like some time goes on, but it seems like sales wise and stuff, this game is going to do very, very well. So it'll be very to me. I think the most interesting thing is going to be like, do we see this developer go back to making like random movie tie-ins that no one plays, or will they actually become like a AAA developer on a regular basis? Because I feel like based on just the sales of this alone, you have to imagine they're going to be given a budget to make something big again.
Oh yeah, you make a Game of the Year contender, you should probably make another one.
Yeah, for sure. Like whether
I know that they actually didn't really push this game too hard marketing wise. Like, did you ever see like YouTube ads for it? I never did. They didn't really reach out to us at GameStop to like try to push the game too much either, because they're just like, it's Harry Potter, it's going to sell, we don't need to advertise the hell out of it,
Also, one thing they did wrong, actually, I think they withheld some review keys from like Kotaku and stuff, and I think that's kind of shitty, because like even Kotaku is fucking being stupid about it. Like, I don't know. I feel like withholding review copies from outlets is bad. I don't know.
Yeah, there was like the theory that they kind of gave review copies only to outlets they thought would review it positively.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, that's not just this game. A lot of game devs do that, and I think it's always been a shitty practice.
Yeah,
to like give out review copies to people who, I don't know. It's like a paid review. Like that's why gaming journalism has no integrity. You know what I mean?
No, there are like gaming journalists that do really good work, but then there's just like the opposite hand where it's like, I mean, if you read that IGN review, it's like, I forget exactly what it says, but it's basically like the combat isn't overly deep. There isn't a ton of enemies. There's some other issues, and then they give it a 9 out of 10. And it's like, I mean, you can review the game, like you don't have to, like, if you want, like, I haven't played it, so I don't know, but like if you're gonna review it and like honestly think it's like not an amazing game, you don't have to be like 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, like, here's the thing, like, arguably the biggest gaming journalist is Jason Schreier, right?
Yeah,
and he doesn't review games. He's like investigative
news.
Journalism. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why like the review thing always felt like these people receive a key and then give the game a good review, and that's like why reading IGN reviews is always kind of like meh.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where like it's like I scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of thing. I don't think they're like, I don't think IGN or those maybe they do under the table, but my guess would be more just like, well, if we review it nicely, we'll be on like the box saying IGN treated it well, and then like in the future, whenever they have like some access kind of thing or something like that, IGN's like, oh, we'll get early access to it because we're nice to them kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
for sure. Yeah, I don't think these companies straight pay publishers, because if that leaked out, dude, that would be insane. But on the other hand, I think of how many games IGN gets to put out gameplay footage before anyone else in the world gets to touch the game, right? Like Halo, when they put out the footage, right? And they
S-tier gameplay.
S-tier. But they do that with tons of games, right? Like 20 minutes of blah 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 gameplay. Like, didn't they just do that for the Star Wars Survivor or Jedi Survivor game? Yeah. So like clearly that's the benefit for IGN, is you stay on the good side of a publisher and you get to put out videos before any other publication gets to see the game or YouTubers get to touch the game. Like, you just get free views at that point, right? And that's, to them, is free money, right? So it's not like direct payment, but like basically turns into money, right?
Yeah, it's more like, yeah, you can review this however you feel. Wink.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. But okay,
which I can't blame them. I mean, that's a good business practice. And,
yeah, I mean,
they're businesses are there to make money.
I think it's the unfortunate side of having like journalism that's propped up purely by ad rev, whereas like when things aren't amazing, you kind of have to do whatever you can to get ad rev to keep things afloat that probably like have become over bloated, and like to like the amount of money that probably gets wasted in games journalism, maybe less so in recent years, as it seems to be kind of like dwindling down. But like think of like some of those massively produced shows and stuff you would get from different gaming publications, and you're like, well, what on earth is this? Like, what am I watching? Like, it's getting like 20K views on YouTube. Like, you guys need to like tone this down and have like one dude edit this. Like, but instead you have like a full team of salaried people, and it's like,
dude, why you gotta call it G4 like that?
I mean, that would be one of them. Yes.
Didn't this dude go crazy?
Dude, you mean the return of G4 wasn't
Adam
good?
Sessler?
Shit, dude.
No.
Oh, Adam Sessler's been crazy for years, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess he has been. Yeah. I mean, I didn't grow up with G4, so I only know this.
I remember watching it like whenever I was like scrolling through. It was like on like the extended
Spike.
cable network.
It was on Spike, and it was weird because it was like it was back during that time of like edgy bro humor, and so it like existed in this world, and then they brought it back, and it was like I mean, you can't really do that anymore anyways, so it's like what you've brought back isn't what G4 was, which is fine, but also like this doesn't really have a place anymore, because back then the YouTube didn't exist, right? I don't need some company to spend hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars to produce me a shitty show where the hosts tell me about video games they haven't played, right?
Right,
Like, I can go on YouTube and find 30 people that have played the game and probably know more about it than you do. But like,
they just
I think
sit there, read
the
their
big-
script, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it.
Well, what the big appeal of it was back then is that like there was no YouTube.
yeah, no, exactly.
No,
Back
yeah.
then it had
Yeah,
a
so-
place.
There was no Twitch.
No,
the only way you could get any kind of gaming content was on TV, and that was the only show that was like dedicated to video games. Hence why it was popular.
Yeah, that's how a lot of me and my friends saw like reviews for new games we might want to play. We'd watch, X play and be like, they'd be like 3 out of 5, 5 out of 5 or whatever. We'd be like, okay, we need to play this game. Like, thank you, Adam Sessler, before you went crazy. Oh, and Morgan Webb, can't forget her. She was there with him.
Yeah, no, for
No
sure.
Olivia Munn.
When it originally aired, it had a place, but I feel like they tried to jam a rectangle into like a fucking dot when they tried to bring it back. Like this, if you're gonna bring it back, you gotta like revamp this, and I feel like it needs to be on a more of a shoestring budget and be more of like almost a glorified YouTube channel, but instead it was like a full production. But okay, anyways, why don't we talk? I think that's the Hogwarts Legacy talk. Does anyone have any final thoughts on it?
It's a good game. I say it's worth playing, and don't let the internet bully you into not liking things you like.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's something to live by for sure. I think people, I don't know, people on the internet suck. Just ignore them.
Yeah, that is what I was gonna say. Obviously the game's very popular, like you mentioned, but like some people did get bullied into not playing it. Like you mentioned, Kevin Hassan. Like there was that clip of him talking about not wanting to get bullied or called transphobic for playing this game. He said he knew a lot of other people who are in the same boat. So it kind of it did work for those people. The game's still very successful, but if there wasn't enough people saying like boycotting this game is stupid, like it's fine. Like if there wasn't people saying that, I'm sure there'd be a lot more people who would be afraid to stream this game. It's just they have a lot of other people with the same opinion as they do that it's fine. It's not a big deal. But I don't know. Some people do give in to the backlash. But
I also
I'm the
think,
type where I don't care.
well,
Like
I
I
also
just tell you
think-
to go fuck yourself. But
I also think like where are all these protesters for the last like 3 years since this game was announced, or 2 years whenever it was
Dude,
announced or something like
I
that.
will say, I feel like this game really flew under the radar because, like, I feel like you heard nothing about this for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of heard it existed, and then wasn't there like leaked gameplay like 6 months ago or something like that?
They've
But,
been
like,
releasing like 45-minute long like just gameplay reveals. Like they were pretty open about
yeah, I
the game.
definitely missed all of those. So
Mhm.
I guess it
I've been
flew under my
following.
radar.
I was a little excited. I was like, oh, I want to be a wizard.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair.
want to go to Hogwarts.
Dude,
Mhm.
what thing are you gonna become, Kevin?
What thing? What house am I gonna
Yeah,
go
yeah.
into? Is what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I gotta get. Oh no, it's gone. No. Where did I? Oh damn. Hufflepuff, 100%.
All right. Perfect.
I did the test on the website. Came out Hufflepuff. Did it again just to make sure it was Hufflepuff, like 100%. So every day I'm Puffling.
All right. On that note, another game that I've been playing is BattleBit Remastered. So this is a game that I heard about forever ago, but unfortunately it's not out. So the only way to play it is during like specific playtest times, and none of them were convenient for me because they were like always on the weekend. But finally they had one on a weeknight at night, so I finally got to play it. And this game is basically like Battlefield but with Roblox graphics, and if you reverted all of the recent Battlefield changes so that it just played like an old school Battlefield game. And if you get past the graphics for this game, dude, it's so much fun. Like I for sure will play this again next time it's like online and it's like I'm around. It's definitely worth a play. I don't know if any of you have tried it.
I mean, it definitely looked cool just because. Isn't there like what? How many people are in a?
Yeah, it's
in a single game?
128 via 128.
That's crazy. How many?
Yeah,
Sounds like
and
a good time.
And so the game, the only type of voice comms it has in game is like proximity chat. It's so much fun, dude, and like everyone's using it. So like you'll be like talking to your squad and you'll hear like an enemy crouching behind a random tree, and he'll be like, I don't know, saying something random, and then you kill him, and when they're like laying on the floor waiting to be rezzed, you can still talk to them. So you'll be like, where's your team? And like then and when someone's downed, you can go and drag them so you can like revive them. So like you'll run up and like drag a dude behind a wall so that you can res him. It's a lot of fun. I only got to play for literally 2 hours because that was the length of the playtest, but definitely a game I want to play more of whenever it's online. Now,
Did you enjoy it more than when you played 2042 recently?
I feel like it's slightly a different experience. I honestly think the gameplay is better in BattleBit, but
Okay.
2042 at this point is like a more AAA experience and has like more different content you can play, because 2042 now actually has like a ton of different modes and stuff, and like there's like all the different game modes. You have the portal mode, which has a bunch of different stuff. So I don't know, we tried to play the extraction mode in 2042 and we literally couldn't find a match. So
Yeah, I forgot.
That mode is completely dead.
we tried to play it for like 20 minutes and just couldn't play it.
The devs like literally were like, after like 3 months after the release, they're like, yeah, we're not supporting this mode anymore.
Yeah,
Because like they're like, yeah, it just flopped on release.
I never got to play. I feel like Battlefield has now done that twice, where they tried to release a battle royale with Firestorm or whatever it was called, and that also flopped. Or I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, and maybe this is just like post nostalgia goggles, but I feel like I've seen tweets where people are like, the Battlefield 5 BR was sweet, but it should have been free to play, but obviously it died because it was part of a $60 game. And then I haven't seen anyone say that about, what's it called, like Hazard Zone or something. I haven't.
Yeah, because Hazard Zone is like, I don't know, it's
Not-
watered down.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's like it's their version of an extractions shooter, in which no one in the
yeah,
Battlefield
but even
community asked for.
DMZ has more depth. Like,
Oh, that's
Really?
saying something if DMZ has more depth. Yeah.
So
Even though DMZ is fun though, but like
No, it is, but it's definitely like very shallow.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe next season, dude, DMZ is gonna be the best game in the world. But yeah, so that's BattleBit. Honestly, I recommend playing it. It's free. Oh, the only like caveat is I have no clue when the fuck this thing is actually coming out. I feel like I've heard about it forever, and it's just constantly only available during playtest. So who knows if it's ever coming out? But if it does, you should check it out. So yeah, Jared, what have I don't think you had a chance. What have you been playing?
Well, obviously, Dark and Darker put about 30 hours into that game in the last 2 days, and I think it's a great game, and you have skill issues in it. Other than that, I played a game called Deliver Us Mars, and it's like a puzzle-solving, story-driven game, but really there's a lot of walking in it, and the gameplay is pretty boring for the most part, minus some like first-person parts. And I don't know. It was okay. It's like $30. I don't know if it's even worth that. The people in the comment section of the video I made would have you know that the game is the greatest thing ever made in humanity and everyone should play it, but it's okay. I don't know. The animations are weird. Had great voice acting. And I don't know. I guess if they make a sequel, I'll play it. And I guess the prequel to it's way better.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is I haven't played this, but everything I read is that Deliver Us the Moon or whatever it's called was like way better.
Yeah, there's like a lot more action to it in terms of like the puzzles and stuff. Where the new one is just, it's like the same puzzle, just set up differently throughout the whole game. And it's like by the time I was getting to the end of it, I'm like, yeah, I want to see what happens, but this is so boring, like just walking from point A to point B. So yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I haven't been doing much. I played the Halo Forge playlist, and that lasted a while before it started crashing on me. So, you know, Halo.
I played a little bit of that.
It is good. The maps are good. Minus I played the same people every match. So
yeah, that's just Halo Infinite things.
Yeah, it's because like 7 people playing it. So
Yeah, I did see some. I saw some
Like,
tweet where some guy analyzed the plays on the map, and it doesn't seem like very many people are playing the playlist, but which would explain why you played the same people every single game. So
yeah, and of course it's people we've scrimmed against, so you know that just added to the sweatiness.
You're out there probably teleporting and they're four-shotting you.
Oh, yeah.
So
But
everyone's
actually,
a winner.
connection was pretty good, actually. So
Oh,
I won't complain
dude.
too much about that. I was getting like 60 pings, so
Yeah.
Are
I
there
don't know
like
what was going on there.
Are there like performance issues playing on those maps? I heard there might have been
Some
some
of
kind of
them.
issue playing on like console or something.
Yeah, I think
I
if you are on
mean-
an old Xbox, you should probably just retire from playing Halo.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like when I was playing on PC, there was a couple of maps where I'm playing at 1080p low settings, and I'm getting like
Mhm.
144 frames usually, and only some of these maps I was getting like 100 to like 120. But I think if you're playing at 60 frames per second, you should be fine on like the current gen consoles.
Right. I just feel like I don't know with Infinite, even when it's not desyncing and the connection's fine, like it just has this weird like stuttery look to it. Like MCC is like buttery smooth, but I don't know. There's something about Infinite that just looks stuttery every time I watch it or play it. Sometimes it's more apparent than others, but it's just
Yeah, I think it's just like a lot of the animations are pretty like harsh, I guess, maybe would be like the way to put it. So I guess it could kind of give off that appearance. But I don't know. I mean,
I think there was actually like a thing about it, but
oh, okay.
I forget what it was.
I don't know. I mean, maybe the Infinite's got a lot of issues, so you could chalk that
It's
one
called
up to
sprinting.
Yeah, dude.
There's the issue.
If Infinite had no sprinting, the game would be perfect. Did you guys see? And this is probably one of those things that'll just never turn into anything. But I saw someone like recreated like classic Halo settings in Infinite, and like they're remaking or like rescaling a bunch of the maps, and like they set up a Discord that's supposedly gonna have like matchmaking and stuff for it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Is
sure.
that the thing that I saw like Snakebite talking? They made like a pro league or something like that.
Well, I saw they were trying to get it on Face It, but like I doubt that'll ever happen. There's no shot.
Mm-hmm.
But
Man, that's what kind of like the COD community did they made like pro mod where they just made like a modified version of COD 4 that was more like balanced and competitive.
it's a little bit different, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm interested if like they ever actually have matchmaking in their Discord. Like I'll for sure check it out, but I haven't even. I like join the Discord and I like see them talk about it sometimes, and that's about it. So other than like testing it out, I don't know how many people are like actually in there playing it. So I haven't bothered to try and like hop in, but I just imagine it's literally what you imagine. It's just Infinite with no sprint or clamber or anything on like H3 Dream Mix. So probably could imagine what it plays like without having to play it. So I don't know. I mean, I will say I did really enjoy like the H5 throwback playlists. I felt like those were pretty fun. So I mean, in theory, it could also be pretty fun in this game. So I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just kind of one of those things where like we both know like at the end of the day, it's Halo. And it's infinite, at the end of the day it's Infinite.
Yeah. Did you see the gravity jump tweet someone did? Delta, I don't know what
Yeah.
your
I saw
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Somebody they like reduced the gravity or something like that, and like you were able to
Oh,
make
yeah.
you're able to make a lot more jumps with
Oh.
that usually require clamber.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I did see that. Yeah. It was like if you reduced it like a really small amount.
It was like
like
100.
0.4.
They added like 14% or something like that to it, so it was like 114%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gravity
it
and then-
just shows that like you don't need clamber. Clamber's just there to be there, honestly. And I'd prefer it wasn't as like a classic fan, but is what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, personally, to me, I don't really mind it a whole lot as long as it just like the maps are. I mean, I think
just
for
seems-
Infinite, the maps are designed rather well for it.
It's just one of those abilities that just seems so unnecessary when you could have jumps that you can make without having to clamber, where you can still shoot, throw grenades, look around while you're making the jump. When you clamber, you're just locked into the clamber animation. It doesn't need to be there. It just is.
How about better yet, you keep all the jumps in a way where you don't need clamber, but you just leave clamber in for outplayability. So like, falling off an edge and climbing back up, like faking dropping down.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think at that
An
point
idea.
though, like people would just find like unintended ways to use clamber that like
Good.
yeah, I don't know. I mean maybe. Yeah, I don't know. All right. We have more Halo shit to talk about later, so we'll move on for now.
Hell yeah.
Does anyone have any other games they've been playing? Going
other than
once?
that, I mean, this might be game adjacent, but I finally watched The Last of Us on HBO Max.
Hey, do you like
I
it?
got through the first 3 episodes, and like episode 3, I think is like, if you want to know how to like deviate from a game but still kind of be respectful to the content, episode 3 of The Last of Us is a perfect example of it, because like functionally it still plays out the same as the game, but like they just added so much backstory and different, they changed the character around a little bit, but for the most part it's the same thing. Oh, I just ran into a claymore. But yeah, oh my god, Last of Us in HBO is amazing. Like even my wife's like really into it too.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very well done. If you have HBO Max, please watch it because it's so good.
But
The
is it
show's
as good
good.
as the Halo show?
Nothing's as good as the Halo show. So with that, we can just keep on cruising on. Yeah, besides that, I didn't really play anything this week. I like went back and played some old games. So why don't we hop into the news? How does Mr. Keemstar do it? Like, let's drop into the news.
I think it's let's get
drop in. Oh yeah, thank you.
into the news.
All right. It's news time, everyone. All right. So first things
Sorry,
first.
Jason.
Why don't we talk about good old Call of Duty? So, before we get into what I think is a little bit more interesting to discuss, we'll talk about season 2 coming up. And if you've seen season 2 for Call of Duty, I think season 2 is like twofold. If you are a DMZ or a Warzone player, I think season 2 looks great. You get a new map, you get a new game mode, you get a ton of balance updates, you get a couple new guns, you get a new vehicle that just looks like a jet ski, and like you get all this new stuff, right? And if you like, the DMZ is going to get new missions and stuff like that, a new boss, all this fancy stuff. And if you're a multiplayer fan, you get some fucking recycled game modes, a map from Modern Warfare 3, and a map that was in the beta that didn't release with the game, and then two maps that are on Warzone today that they're just repurposing as big maps. So,
God, dude, that pissed me off, man. The maps,
no
man.
gunfight.
Dude, like the maps right now are like the sole reason I will not play that game. I fucking hate the maps. I don't ever want to play those maps again. I like Shoot House and Shipment, which got added later on, but the fact that we're not really getting any new maps, because even Dome is on the Warzone map. I don't know if it's going to look different.
Yeah.
Are we not getting Castle as a 6v6 map?
No,
it's on the big map.
Yeah, it's
We
just
can't
on
get that. We can't get that in 6v6.
Yeah,
Like,
it
next
was literally
season.
in the Vanguard. It was in Vanguard last year, and that was on the same engine.
That is the
Yeah.
stupidest thing, man. Like, yeah, that pisses me off. And another thing that pisses me off is we're getting a bunch of new and returning game modes. Where is Gunfight? That is the sole reason I bought Modern Warfare 2019, and we can't get fucking Gunfight in this game? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, where is it? Like, I love that mode.
What pisses me off, they always they had gunfight, right? In Modern Warfare 2019, and in Cold War they didn't have that, but they had a mode called VIP. And it was also very fun, right? But both those modes are nowhere to be seen. And then they made Champion Hill for Vanguard. And it was one of the
Oh, I
worst
remember
fucking
that.
modes ever.
No, that mode sucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what happened to Gunfight. It wasn't in Cold War. They did have some fun modes in Cold War. That was fine. But then they tried to replace it in Vanguard with Champion Hill. And, here we are.
Mhm.
We might never see Gunfight again. Even though it was the
feel
greatest Call of Duty mode ever.
Oh
to be
yeah,
made.
I loved Gunfight, dude. That was such a good mode. That was probably the thing I
Did
played
the
most
tournament?
in 2019.
Wait, Cold War had Gunfight. What the fuck am I talking about?
And did Vanguard?
Vanguard did not. Vanguard had Champions Hill, which was like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't know, some weird fucking other shit.
Yeah.
But Cold War did have Gunfight, because I remember playing Cold War Gunfight tournaments. And same for Modern Warfare 2019. That shit was so fucking fun. Like, earning emblems as you climb the fucking tournament bracket and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I played Modern Warfare 2019. Like, I don't know.
I feel like Call of Duty, and this has been a trend in recent years, but I feel like it's becoming increasingly obvious that the multiplayer version of the game purely exists to milk money from you early so that you buy it to level up your Warzone guns. Because post-launch, they don't give a fuck about multiplayer. Every update and like balance update is for Warzone or Warzone specifically, but usually also kind of relates to DMZ. And it's just, if you're a multiplayer fan, you just get shafted. And it's crazy to think that you have to think back, like, when obviously it was a different landscape, but think how much content multiplayer CODs used to get in the year that they were out, and now it's like, by the time, and we'll talk about it soon, by the time the next game comes out, dude, what's this game gonna have? Like 2 actual new maps? Like, if that, who knows? We might just get more remakes. Like, there's still we could still get what's the fucking query? I don't know. I can't speak English.
Quarry.
There's still that map that we can get from Warzone. There's still Terminal. So that's probably season 3, right?
Well, we have
Terminal. That is
Terminal Rush.
Oh, yeah, but that's the battle map. I mean, it's a 6v6 map because battle map is for invasion and
that's what you mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like
we
proper...
probably won't get a 6v6.
You don't think?
Wait, wasn't it rumored like that the year 2 was going to be like, we were getting a map pack for original COD 2 maps?
Originally, there's been a whole ton of rumors, so we can transition straight into that. There's been a whole bunch of rumors because this was supposed to be a 2-year Call of Duty. Some people were saying that year 2 was going to be like just a big kind of, like a bunch of Modern Warfare 2 maps, but then Insider Gaming just yesterday or just today dropped this where from what they're hearing, we're getting a premium Call of Duty this year, and it's made by Sledgehammer. So,
like an actual game,
like a full $70 game.
And I think they're doing it because the deal is not going to go through with Microsoft. I think they're like, you know what, we need to make a game now. We can't hold off.
Well,
yeah,
I thought
was it like in Europe or in England? They said they were looking to actually not let the deal go through.
Yep.
No, the fucking UK said that they should sell off Call of Duty and then they could let the deal go through.
That was just a suggestion. Like, it's still not like something set in stone, from my understanding. It's just like their counter argument or counter offer almost.
Yeah,
like,
it's not like actually happening.
So like it's still going back and forth. So
I thought there was like
we
a
don't know
quote
for sure.
somewhere where they said we're moving past the annual release model.
They said that.
Yep, they said that.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
They just changed them in. But I mean, these are also just leaks, right?
Yeah.
This could just be old plans being leaked too, maybe. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, it could
or
be.
maybe they didn't update their employees on like what's going on.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, obviously take it with a grain of salt like every video game leak. But if we do get a Call of Duty 2023 by Sledgehammer, I feel like that's going to be weird. I mean, they found like dates, but these, like you said, they could have been old plans that they unearthed. So like, if this game is supposed to drop in November, I mean, I guess we'll see.
What if it's something out of left field? It's just a campaign-only COD.
No,
It's
not
if
a shot,
it's a
dude.
good campaign,
People would buy it.
Not unless it ties into like Warzone, where you have to like unlock your guns in the fucking campaign.
Pre-order the campaign and get all the campaign weapons in Warzone. There you go.
As long as, dude, like I said, I don't think they care about multiplayer. So as long as they could release a game and tie it to Warzone, so that Warzone players will buy it specifically to like get a leg up in Warzone, I feel like Activision will do it. So we could
instantly unlocked Rose skin.
literally get a campaign where you like, as you're leveling up, it's like it's got RPG mechanics, so you're leveling up all your new guns, and then Warzone comes out and you got them all maxed out, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I was looking forward to not getting Call of Duty games every year. I felt like that would be nice. Maybe we'd actually like, you could actually see a game built upon. But what we're seeing right now is that's not even the case. Like, even if MW2 lasts 2 years, if they keep putting out content at this speed, it's going to have less content in it than the older Call of Duties did, because they're clearly not focused on it at all.
I mean, that's just modern gaming,
Yeah.
Pay less and get more.
Yeah.
And if we do get another COD game next year, I mean, it's going to sell. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
even matter if it's
Yeah.
good or what it's doing. Like it's going to sell. It's
I feel like
Probably
this
break
year
records.
though, and maybe not, but I feel like people are finally people still like Warzone. I think people will still play Warzone, but I feel like people are starting to realize that like Activision doesn't care about multiplayer, so like maybe sales will start to dip, but again, if people can buy it to level up all their guns for a month so that they don't have to do it in Warzone, it probably won't even matter, and they'll do that anyways.
right.
So I don't know. That is Call of Duty. We can move on to the next topic unless anyone has any final words on Call of Duty.
My game of Call of Duty just crashed, so that felt good.
That does feel
Hell
good.
yeah.
I'm happy.
No, I
for
didn't.
you.
We're back in.
Oh my god, dude, let's go. All right, so
Yeah.
speaking of battle royales, why don't we talk about Apex? Because Apex, in contrast to season 2 of Warzone, I feel like the Apex season 16 sounds fucking sweet. They're revamping all the heroes, so they're gonna put them into different classes, which I think probably doesn't matter if you're an existing Apex player, but for like noobs, this is probably awesome because it'll help you kind of pick who you want to play easier. You're getting TDM, which I know isn't the most unique game mode in the world, but like I feel like people have been asking for TDM in Apex for literally years. So I'm pretty pumped to play
I feel like you should have
TDM.
done that
I'm
a long time
beyond
ago.
excited for deathmatch because if we get deathmatch, then we could get maybe King of the Hill and capture the flag, and maybe they'll expand upon it, and we'll have a new arena shooter to play.
You'll get Titanfall 3.
Hell yeah.
I've been liking that meme I've been seeing of Titanfall 3 going around where it's like,
Give
wish
me a
list
new
for Titanfall
character with
3,
wall running.
please.
Yeah, please. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
just a please.
there's not going to be a new character in the season, but there is going to be a new gun, and they're also like changing the way that they do like ranked. Instead of it being one map for a whole split, I believe now it's going to switch out every week, which will be pretty nice because I feel like I always see all the Apex ranked grinders complaining when it's a bad map for like months straight, so that'll probably be pretty good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited to try out season 16. What do you guys think?
Last time I played Apex was season 4.
Perfect.
Wow.
I did get a win though. I
Oh,
did get a
dude,
win in
you're-
season
you're
4.
cracked,
soloing
dude.
it. Yeah. So
I'm excited
one
for them to
claim to fame.
rebalance Wraith so I can go back to playing as her because she just sucks to me. So hopefully she's good now.
You mean you don't like that weird awkward ass delay when you hit Q?
No, what is this, Naruto? Like, come on, let me just use my ability. I don't need a build up. This is a monologue to the next episode. Just let me kill someone.
All right. So on the topic of Respawn, Respawn did one good thing, and then EA also kind of just shit on Titanfall fans. So if you guys didn't see, Jason Schreier, who is apparently the sole source of half of our news for this podcast, he put out an article that EA canceled the Titanfall single player game that we had heard about. So this was going to be called, I don't know if it was going to be called this or if it was just the code name, but it was like Titanfall Legends. And there was basically, he didn't go into a ton of details in this about what it was, but there was a different article that I think is his name Jeff Grom. Is that his name?
Grub, yeah.
Jeff Grom ran, and it was basically, it sounded like Titanfall 3 because you were basically like bringing BT back to life, and the campaign was going to be all about kind of like upgrading him through the campaign, and I guess it was like heavily Doom Eternal inspired. I don't know. I felt like it could have been pretty sweet, and so Titanfall 2's campaign was pretty sick. So I'm kind of bummed to be honest that they have now canceled this along with They canceled this and some other stuff, but I feel like this was the only one thing that they canceled I cared about.
Yeah, it's a shame because, like, I mean, Titanfall 2's campaign was so good. It's like, it was a excellent, fast-paced FPS campaign. You know, plus it wasn't like too long. It was like about maybe 6-ish hours or something like that. It wasn't like a huge time sink or anything like that. But like, it kind of got me to the point where I was like, man, I kind of just wish like if Titanfall would just release like just a single-player game, you know. Because it was just that good.
Oh yeah.
Because like I still don't think people are super into the multiplayer. Like people say that they are, but then like, you know, whereas everyone who says that they love it, but then they don't play it, you know.
You're gonna piss off the Titanfall horde again. So, Titanfall fans, we love you. Titanfall 2 multiplayer is the best multiplayer game ever. All right, you can continue, Kevin. I scared him off. I scared him off.
It seems to be actually there seems to be like this trend on YouTube where if you just like make a video, essay long video talking about like how good Titanfall 2 is, it's a guaranteed 100,000 views. It seems like.
Titanfall is one of those games where I feel like it did get the shit end of the stick by EA, so I don't know, who knows, but I think it's become more loved in retrospect than I think it was when it came out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I thought it was a very fun game, but mainly just the pilot versus pilot stuff. So I don't even know if I'm really a Titanfall fan if I wasn't a huge fan of the Titans.
I feel like a lot of people agree with you there.
I fucked with the pilot versus pilot stuff. It was a really fun game. Like, it was fun, but Apex just took off, and that's a bigger game than Titanfall 3 probably would have been if they made that.
Oh, 100%, without a doubt. I mean, as much as like Titanfall fans, like it's like the hardcore ones hate Apex for what it did to Titanfall. I mean, it is a business, and at the end of the day, Titanfall 3 could have maybe been moderately more successful than 1 and 2, but let's be real. At best, it like is maybe 25% more popular, and that's still pretty niche, as opposed to Apex, which I'm pretty sure makes like billions of dollars. So the scale at which Titanfall would perform versus Apex isn't like, they're not even on the same level at all. And that's a bummer if you're a Titanfall fan, but maybe as they add in more modes to Apex, dude, they'll give you wall running, and then you can pretend you're playing Apex. Pretend you're playing Titanfall.
Oh,
surprised they don't have a legend that can do that yet.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool. Especially
they could call him the pilot, dude. He'd just literally be the pilot.
Oh, that was rumored that they were going to add the pilot as a character.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a year ago or something.
I said he got him in Halo. See what I did there?
Perfect,
okay,
dude. I'm sorry. Great character. Dude. All right, so that's. Anyone else got any final thoughts on Titanfall? I think Luke fell asleep.
What?
Hey, Paul, if it was a single player game, I'd play it.
There was just a lot of Halo talk and then a lot of Titanfall talk, and
then when you mentioned Halo, he was just out.
Yeah. When Kevin said Halo, I was like,
as he should.
As we talked about Halo, Luke sunk more and more into his chair.
It's like, next segment, please.
All right. Moving on. So recently, if you guys have been no. Before we talk about the live service apocalypse, I love to meme on this, and I'm just gonna pull up the gameplay trailer because calling this a gameplay trailer is it's a stretch. So everyone, familiar. if you haven't been following the day before, this was supposed to come out last month, but apparently they didn't copyright their game, so they said. So it got delisted from Steam, and then we found out they were going to delay it anyways, but then people were like, I don't think this game's real. So to qualm our worries about the game being real, we got a 10-minute gameplay trailer, and about 9 minutes of it is staring at this girl's ass.
Hey, money had to go towards the assets. Okay, let's.
I have not seen this, and I was like immediately like, this looks like a game I would buy. This looks good. Yeah, I mean,
Luke is the target audience.
I am the target audience.
You know what though? You should pull up the trailer, like the initial reveal trailer, because it's like night and day on the graphics front. Like, how bad this looks.
It's so downgraded. No, but let me pull this up because BK is talking about it in chat. And so there's been a lot of people did. I think he might have sent it to me. Perfect. Thank you. Yes. So people have been doing side-by-side comparisons with this game and other trailers. And so this is side-by-side of them basically just copying the cinematics of Black Ops Cold War Zombies. But but people have also found the key art for this game looks like The Last of Us. There's a key art with like a car that comes from some game called Snow Runners. And they stole stuff from like so many different games. There's a clip in the trailer that's like straight out of The Last of Us. Like it's bad. Like
they also they have a
they stole from
one
SnowRunner?
image from the Division 2. Like
yeah,
it's
there's the
exact
image
same
that looks.
image.
Yeah, it's the same, dude. Yeah, no, it's here's The Last of Us in the day before. You can see these are pretty similar. It looks kind of like the same text. But then here's the SnowRunner image that they literally just repurposed. This is the meme, like, let me copy your homework.
Yeah.
And someone's like, yeah, but make it look different. And they're like, okay.
I don't know about you guys when I was watching the gameplay reveal, and like literally everything in the world was like a knockoff brand version of whatever it is. Like instead of CVS, there was a BVS. Instead of Wendy's, there was Willows.
I noticed that. Oh.
Yeah, and like instead of Pepsi,
wow.
it's like Pepsi and stuff like that. It's like actually distracting how much of like just like changing the first letter of everything is. And it's like
It's like
just,
those bad recreations in those anime cartoons of like fast food chains from America. Like,
yeah.
what it reminds me of, like Whack Donald's.
Wait, in Tarkov.
Donald's?
Yeah, dude, this game literally seems like it's Whack Donald's, man. It's like literally, it's like Whack Donald's to Daisy.
So
I
yeah,
do have
this
to say, I find it kind of funny that there's like they're like almost. I mean, I don't know if they're. I mean, they might just be copying, but to me, it could also be just like parodying this like fucking all these other genres or whatever.
I don't think they're parodying. I think they just don't have any like.
They just don't have any vision. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just like scrambling to put anything together because they got all these people hyped. I mean, at one point, this was the most wish listed game on Steam, and it's supposed to come out this year. And like, fucking, I don't know. I will be shocked if this game comes out, or B, it's gonna come out and be fucking atrocious. There's no shot this is a good video game.
The thing is, though, with like Tarkov has a lot of those parody items that Kevin was talking about. Like, you have Slickers, which is like the Snickers. You have like Idea, which is like the IKEA. Like, there's the actual building you can go fucking raid in IKEA. And shit like that. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. The Tarkov, it has a certain charm, right?
I mean,
like it feels like a purposeful parody because like they want to make it feel like you're in the world, right? It's like immersive
I mean, like,
without getting cease and assisted. But this
like
game,
GTA
I guess,
and like Watch Dogs
is already
and stuff
ripping off.
Have done the parody stuff too. You can do that fine, but I think it's weird in this game because they're also just straight stealing from other video games too. So you're like, what are we doing here?
I guess so. But yeah, I guess if this was just in the game, it might be different. I guess it's because it's a marketing material. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're not parodying something in the game. They're just ripping off the marketing material for other games.
Yeah,
because it worked, I guess. Or yeah, why the fuck are you ripping off the Division and SnowRunner? The Division fucking failed. I don't know why they're making a third one. Ubisoft might go under making that third one. And fucking SnowRunner, some fucking simulation trucking.
What is
SnowRunner?
I don't know.
It's
what
like
that
some
is.
simulation trucking game.
Oh,
like
shit,
you haul
okay.
some wood. Like I don't know, dude. So like, what are they ripping off? These like random ass fucking games. Dude, also here's my prediction. Ubisoft will go under making the Division trying to make the Division a big franchise, dude.
I'm
calling it now.
I feel like Ubisoft is actually kind of in, like, if they don't come out with something new and successful in the next 3-4 years, I feel like we see them get bought. Because it just seems like everything they do gets canceled or completely misses these days. And
so many studios too. And they produce underwhelming games. I don't know. The Division, I don't know if there's any Division lovers in here, but it's one of the most boring games I've ever played.
I've never played it, so I don't know.
So I don't know.
But yeah, all right. So that's the day before. I don't know. I can't even. I don't even know. Is it a video game? I watched a whole video. I watched a whole video. They were like, there was a guy theorizing like why this even existed, and like, so in the meantime, while they've marketed this, they also put out a game called Prop Night, and they also put out a Microsoft Teams app. Like, I don't know what the fuck this company is doing, but apparently they're making some shit. So maybe they're just trying to hype up all their other products. So I don't know, but this company does have a track record of putting out games and like completely abandoning them. So maybe this game comes out and then they just straight abandon it and it'll just be bad. So
is it supposed to be a single player game, by the way, or
no? This is like supposed to be like multiplayer,
like DayZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mm.
Daisy.
Ooh, okay, this is not gonna. I thought it was a single player game.
No, it's supposed to be like a DayZ thing.
Yeah, almost like an MMO.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to like go through all these like towns and like fight off zombies, and then there'd be like other people, and you like fight them or like work with them. Like I don't know. It's not looking.
It's
good.
just a Division mixed with Daisy, I guess.
I guess, dude. Soul Food Markets. Oh, dude, let's go. All right, let's see. What do we got next here? All right, why don't we talk? Yeah, we can talk about the live service apocalypse a little bit. So, in the past couple weeks, like a shit ton of games have just been canceled. Knockout City is being shut down. Rumbleverse is being shut down. Apex Mobile is being shut down. Battlefield Mobile is being shut down. Crossfire X is being shut down.
Battlefield Mobile wasn't real though. Like it wasn't a game that was out.
No, it was tested in other regions. Yeah, you just couldn't play it in America.
Right, but it wasn't like released. Right?
Okay,
like,
sure. Yeah, you're right. That would be like more of a cancellation. But it was just on my list. I apologize. But Back for Blood also, like, they're not shutting that game down, but they're moving on to the next game. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, like, the economy is in a rough spot, so that it kind of makes sense that you would see maybe like a cutback on stuff that isn't performing overly well. Plus, like, if your live service game isn't doing too hot, like, you either kind of have to move on to the next thing or shut down, I guess, permanently.
Okay, so here's the thing, like, was the Rumbleverse and Knockout City, and there's another one, Roller Champions. I'm sure will get shut down soon.
Oh, that has to get shut down, right?
So, and for me, I don't know how to describe it, but these are games they made because of Fortnite, and I don't know how to put this theory into play, but like they're very Fortnite looking. I don't know how to explain it. Like, this is like almost like they wanted to make their own Fortnite art style so they can sell to Fortnite kids, but that obviously doesn't work because Fortnite kids want to play Fortnite or some other shit. I don't know how to explain it. Like, the graphics are very like for younger kids. I don't know how to like.
No,
does that make sense?
I feel it definitely has that like cartoony like art style. 100%, they all do. But I don't know. I mean, to me, I think the craziest thing about Rumbleverse is that came out like 8 months ago, and they're shutting it down, and they never even bothered to try putting it on Steam. Like, it was published by Epic, so it's on the Epic Game Store plus probably console, and clearly it didn't do too well, and they're just yeeting it. Like,
it's shit.
I've never played it, but
yeah, I played it. It wasn't fun. Like, it's just garbage. I don't know, dude.
Never even heard of it.
Perfect. It's like a wrestling battle royale.
Yeah, it's like a wrestling battle royale that looks like Fortnite. Like,
yeah, here I'll pull up gameplay so you can see it. But yeah, so
Knockout City though, I thought was actually fun.
Yeah, Knockout City is not bad.
Fun.
It's just like it's a game that I would only play for a little bit every few months, which obviously isn't going to keep the lights on for someone. But here you go, BHB. This is Rumble versus. So I don't know. I mean, it never intrigued me to bother playing it, so I never tried it. But I mean, some people must have liked it. I would assume. I don't.
I don't think so. That's why I think that's why it's shutting down a Rush because nobody liked it.
What's the bubble?
Yeah.
What is this? Super Smash Bros? Like,
kinda. I don't know.
This is.
It's just like I don't know. Me and Elijah played it, and we just kept chain stun locking everyone and won the game. Like, it was so fucking boring. We figured out the controls, and then like the enemy just couldn't move, and we won the game. It's just like I don't know, dude. It's just boring as fuck. And there's so many fucking items in this game for no reason. Like, I don't know. It's just like very confusing and bad. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I might play it this weekend before it shuts down. So I'll come back next week.
Oh yeah, you definitely should.
I'll tell you about how great it is.
Experience it because, like, I don't know. In 10 years, nobody will remember this, but you'll have this memory that you played this fucking failed wrestling battle royale that got shut down, dude.
Dude, I think there's like I don't in particular care about any of these games, but I think like I don't know. There's just gonna be this huge gap in gaming history where so many companies made live service games that all get shut down and just are completely unplayable. and that's gonna be a weird experience to look back on in like 5 or 10 years. And I wonder how sustainable this is, because this obviously, like, some live service games pop off and they make a ton of money, but so many of them just straight fail out of the gate and never do anything. Like, obviously we just talked about all these, but like last podcast we talked about the Marvel game getting shut down. Like, it's like a common occurrence that these live service games just aren't obviously doing well. Halo Infinite isn't doing too hot, obviously, and so it's like, to be honest, it seems like more miss than more hit.
Yeah,
it's good. The more of these fucking garbage ass live service games fail, the sooner we'll go back to getting full fucking content video games, because they'll eventually realize that for some games they will sell better. Yeah. And that's just the reality of it.
Well, and it'd be nice if people would realize that instead of buying $2,000 worth of microtransactions, actually wait for a good game, because people need to realize at some point all that money's just going to be wasted, because you don't actually own the cosmetics you're buying, because if the game shuts down,
I will
they're
say,
gone.
Rumble versus, they are offering full refunds.
Hey, that's good.
But most games aren't. Like Knockout City, you don't get your money back. Like, so most games you don't.
Like, I think of like the day Apex shuts down. Like someday it will happen.
Yeah.
Like it will happen, and man.
Right, but I mean, I'm fine with that, because like, I spent like a good chunk of money on League of Legends, right? But I played it for 10 years, and it's still gonna go on. I can still play it anytime. And I feel like Apex Legends, like if I get 10 years out of a video game, you know what I mean? Like whatever. And I'm pretty sure Apex Legends will get to the 10-year mark.
Yeah, you got to enjoy their skins and stuff for for long enough.
You got your value.
So yeah, I'm fine with it.
Like you mentioned, Jared, though, like a lot of this, like with the state of gaming and everything, and like microtransactions and stuff like that, it's on the consumer, the people buying it. Like that's the reason it's a thing. Like people 100%. Blame the developers so much for this stuff. Like stop putting microtransactions. Stop fucking buying them. Stop. Yep. Like it's you. Like I don't blame the developer at all for putting microtransactions in their game. It is the people buying them. And guess what? And some people like microtransactions. Some people don't even have a problem with it. So, this is what it is.
And I will say, though, obviously, certain free-to-play games, that's how they make money. They got to make money somehow, which I'm fine with. But it's just like certain games where it's like you charge a premium price for it, and then you charge microtransactions, and I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. It's good that these games like Rumbleverse and stuff are going under, because they were based off like people buying microtransactions, right? And it does not work for every game, right?
No.
There's no shot Halo Infinite is profitable just off the microtransactions. So like maybe all these developers will realize if we just make a good game and then sell microtransactions maybe on top, people will buy it. You can't just sustain it on microtransactions. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're like in a weird spot in gaming where clearly the live service model isn't as like it isn't a free ticket to money like publishers think it is. But despite that, they keep trying, and they keep having to shut down live service games because they don't get players.
And the sooner and the more live service games shut down, the sooner we can get over this period, because eventually it'll go back to like trying to sell you a $60 package, right? Because like, I mean, that worked well. That's how gaming rose, right?
Yeah. Well, and you got to look at the fact that like you have Hi-Fi Rush, the Dead Space remake, and now Hogwarts Legacy, all single player games that are, selling amazing. They're kind of reinforcing the fact that single player, and Elden Ring single player games can sell. And we still got the Resident Evil 4 remake. We have Final Fantasy 16, probably Starfield, and if these all sell well, I mean, it just proves you don't need microtransactions and an online multiplayer game to sell a game still.
But I think that the downside to that is like I don't really play single player games as much. Like I'm trying to more, but like I do enjoy multiplayer games, and so it's like I don't want the whole like industry of multiplayer games to stop just because some shitty live service games failed. Like I don't know.
It won't. I mean, well, that kind of what happened with single player games, I guess, on the reverse. But I don't know. The thing is, it's hard to make a good multiplayer game, right?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
Something that's engaging, that's competitive, that's fun, that keeps you going, right? There's only a handful I can name that would even ever do that for me. But a single player game, you go in with the expectations, and you're like, this is a campaign, like a story I'm following, right? So you don't have to worry about anything else. Where I feel like it's easier to make a single player game good than it is to make a multiplayer game good.
Oh
Does that
yeah,
make sense?
I'd agree with that for sure. I think there's not one thing that's a lot harder with multiplayer games is like it not only does the game itself have to be good, it also has to be like so much better than its competitors because you have to pull those players away from the game that they would play instead. Whereas like a single player game, like I could be a huge Doom 2016 fan, right? But like if a new FPS single player game comes out, like it's not like I play Doom 2016 every single night, right? So you just hop on, you play the new single player game, and then you just play the next one that comes out. Like you have more time to like hop between games when you're playing single player games, where it's like when you're a huge Apex grinder, right? You literally play nothing but Apex. So if a new battle royale comes out or a new multiplayer game comes out, you're gonna go, is this better than Apex? If the answer is no, you will close that game and go straight back to Apex, right? So that's the problem is I feel like competition is harder for multiplayer games because for single player games, you could make a Doom-esque single player FPS campaign that is worse than Doom that could still sell okay and still do decently just because it's fun. Whereas like you can't make a shitty knockoff of Apex and expect it to not fail within a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you also can't forget just the pure fact that, say a meta shifts with an update in Apex and you're trying to play another multiplayer game with Apex being your main game. You're like, do I want to go play this new multiplayer game? Even though I like it, I don't want to fall behind on the Apex meta by not grinding it, not learning it. Like
Exactly.
you have to weigh your options. Like, do I really want to go play this and fall behind in this game or vice versa? And plus, it's like my friends aren't playing this new game. They're still playing Apex. So I'm just going to stick with Apex. Like how you got to not just drag one person, you have to potentially drag their entire group of friends as well to get them to switch over.
Yeah.
Right.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and like that's the thing with I was gonna say about like single player games is like you can have a good single player game that has like no replayability. It's just a good campaign, good story, you enjoy it, and then you move on and you say it's a good game. But like when with multiplayer games, people are looking for that replayability, something to grind for. So you got to have that with multiplayer, as opposed to single player. But something I wanted to respond to. I wanted to respond to something Pete said in chat. He said if they charge full price, you shouldn't nickel and dime your player base with microtransactions. And I'm just like, but they wouldn't be if people weren't buying them. They can put all the microtransactions they want in their game. Like they're not making any money from it if people don't buy them, but people buy them. So I really do not blame the developer for that. Like I just don't.
I mean, here's the thing though: if it's a good game, I'll buy microtransactions. Like, what I mean?
and that's fine if you want. Yeah, some people don't, like them and they want to buy things. And there's also you also got to keep in mind, like if it's a free to play game, you might spend some money on microtransactions, but it might not be $60 worth. So they're still getting less from you than if they were to release it as a $60 game. So there's that angle too.
Yeah, for sure. I will say, so I do want to talk about this a little bit because I think it's actually insane. So one obviously positive of most single player games is they're playable forever outside of like hardware issues, right? Most single player games. Now there's a couple cases the one case that actually just came out recently that we'll talk about that won't be the case, but for the most part single player games are obviously all playable, whereas these live service games, once the server shuts down, unless there's a private server or some type of like revival project, they're just straight gone forever, right? Now Crossfire X, this came out like a year or so ago, and it's basically like this big it's a big like Counter-Strike ripoff in Korea, right? And
I thought it was China.
Whatever, all right, China, whatever.
But here, okay, sorry.
So this game came out and they shipped it on Xbox and it was supposed to be this like big thing, right? And it has multiplayer and it also has a campaign. Now this is also one of the live service games that's shutting down, but they're shutting down the single player also. So this game will note like you won't be able to play any portion of this game anymore, and that's also the same with so Redfall is coming out this year, and that's going to be like, I don't know all the details, but it's going to be some type of, looks like co-op shootery thing. But that's also an always online game. So similar to something like Destiny, once the servers for those games shut down, you won't even be able to play your single player game. And Destiny has the added issue where they just like delete entire old campaigns from the video game. So I don't know. I feel like it's extra egregious in the case of Crossfire, and from what I understand, the campaign is dog shit, so maybe nobody cares. But like, to me, it's just weird that this game came out like a year ago and the campaign will already be unplayable, not just the multiplayer.
Here's my understanding was, and I mean maybe it was Korea. I thought it was China, but I thought this game was a huge free-to-play game in China, right? Because like the gaming market in China, the free-to-play market just wasn't there. So I thought it was one of the only free-to-play games available, one of the only shooters available. So it became massive, right? Because I mean, if everybody can only play this one game, and then they make this sequel like 10, 15 years later. And like on Xbox, and nobody gives a fuck. Like I don't even know why this exists.
Yeah,
it's just so weird.
I agree. I don't know why it exists either, but yeah, my understanding was it was big in Korea because it was free to play Counter-Strike. Because Counter-Strike used to cost money, so you could play you could play this in a PC bang, and it was just on the PC, whereas like Counter-Strike wasn't. And maybe that's the same for China. Maybe it was big just in the East in general, because like free-to-play games in general are just more of a thing. Well, used to be more of a thing over there.
Yeah, it was just sooner there, yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, no, I also agree. Like, why did the sequel for this come out 10 years later? Why was it an Xbox exclusive? Like, it's not even on PC. I think that's the weirdest thing.
You can play with mouse and keyboard on Xbox. That's a weird thing, too.
Can you?
I remember my mouse wouldn't work. So I moved with my keyboard and I aimed with my controller at the same time. It was like the weirdest fucking experience, but I hit some clips. But yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this whole game is kind of weird. Yeah, I really don't. I mean, I guess having a Counter-Strike competitor in the Xbox like platform or like ecosystem might have been beneficial, especially like we did see Valorant like pop off, right? But like, why are you trying to make your Counter-Strike competitor a console exclusive? Like, I don't know, but
yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, so that's Crossfire. I think that kind of wraps up the live service section. Did anyone have any final thoughts on that? We'll move on. All right, perfect. Moving on. So I figured, we got to talk about it. I'm sorry, Luke. Time to talk about Halo. So,
all right, Luke, go back to sleep.
Yeah, Luke, take a nap. All right, we'll wake you up when we're done. All right, so there's two big things we're going to talk about with Halo. First thing, we're going to talk about the move to Unreal. Rumored, I guess, it seems confirmed to me, but like hold on. They label early access as live service like Halo. I don't fully understand what you mean, but yeah, sorry. Okay, so yeah, Halo is supposedly basically getting fully rebooted and moving to Unreal. So yeah, this news is a little bit old now. It's a couple weeks old, but what do you guys think of this?
I mean, it kind of makes sense because right now the biggest issue with Halo is content and just being able to do stuff in Halo. And with Microsoft's hiring freeze, making them rely on contractors, and we recently saw Patrick Wren tweet out, right, saying it took at least 6 months to ramp up one single contractor up on the split-stage engine, and then they get like maybe 6 months of actual like good up-to-speed work from that contractor, and then they're just gone. And so, I mean, that, especially since now, like it seems like more and more games are starting gaming is starting to homogenize a bit more especially when it comes to engines that they're using, and so that it would make sense to like switch to Unreal just because like Microsoft is tying 343's hands when it comes to making content. You have to rely on contractors, and the fastest way to get people just to start making stuff for Halo would be switching to Unreal.
Yeah,
but
an engine more people are familiar with.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that also would entitle or mean that most likely. When I heard this news, I'm like, okay, Infinite's not making the 10 years. Like I'm expecting Infinite to get decent support throughout 2023, probably until the first half of 2024, and then probably no more content after June of 2024 would be my guess, because that's like the fiscal year roller for Microsoft, and probably going to be focused on just making a new Halo game. And so I don't have high hopes for Infinite's like long-term future besides beyond this year.
Yeah, and isn't it rumored? Is it isn't it rumored that the Tatanka mode is going to be its own game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much. We'll just say it's rumored like the Tatanka that they've been talking about is done. That no longer exists, and we will now get something else that'll still be like. It's still like coming from the same project, but yeah, now it'll just be its own game.
Yeah, and
I will say when Certain Affinity did announce that they were like doubling down on their support with Halo, right? That all their job listings were for like Unreal 4. There was nothing talking about like proprietary engine experience or anything.
Please tell me they're not making Tatanka on Unreal 4.
No, it's supposed to be Unreal Engine 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like Unreal. Like, I'm sure if you know 4, you can do 5 kind of thing. But at that time,
I guess
they had
you
to say
can't
4.
ask for like 10 years experience with Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, okay.
It'd be kinda
Fair
goofy.
enough.
Also, I think it's crazy the people. Okay, I understand like all of the reasons why Halo might not feel like Halo, right? In Unreal Engine, but to me, if you can match the strafe speed, the jump height, the way you aim, and a lot of people say, well, you can't match the physics of Halo. Well, Fortnite exists in the Unreal Engine. Its grenades can throw people. I mean, the vehicles have everything has physics in Fortnite. Like you can't tell me you can't tweak a grenade in Halo and Unreal Engine to pop your character up into the air. Like you can't make a gravity hammer swing and blow people back. I mean, if you could do this in other games in Unreal Engine, I don't see why this can't exist in Halo.
Yeah, also
And-
here's the thing. They already made Halos in the Halo engine that don't feel like Halo. So like what's the fucking big holdup, you know what I mean? What's that argument even? Halo 4 feels like shit. Halo 5 feels a little better, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, all the Halo games feel like a little different from each other, but yeah, I just imagine that it would be like yeah, it's probably possible to get a Halo game on Unreal pretty close to Halo on the Blam engine, but I just imagine, that would be tough to do. And
I mean,
and to
you gotta
match
have someone
those-
that actually
to match those fine details with the movement and the physics and stuff like that. I just, I'm not a game developer, but I do imagine that would be pretty tough, but I guess possible.
Yeah, you probably should
Well,
hire
and
some people that
It
like
doesn't
Halo.
have to be perfect either, right? It just
No,
make a
and
good
I mean,
Halo game in Unreal Engine.
it could feel better in Unreal. We don't know.
Mhm.
And it could certainly feel better than Slipspace. But yeah, I don't hate this
It could
idea.
even
of
feel
moving to
slightly
Unreal.
different and better. Like it's
Yeah.
all possible.
If it doesn't have desync and slow aim, I'm in.
Yeah, so
I mean, also just think about how drastically, you were mentioning about how drastically different each Halo is. So, like, think of a Halo CE to Halo 2, how drastically different that is,
Yeah,
sure.
sure,
Even,
but a
like-
lot of that can be made up to the physics engine, right? Because
yeah, 'cause they
Halo CE,
switched.
Bungie was like smoking some fucking kush or some shit, and we're like, we're gonna make our own physics engine, like, and that should.
So obviously, like currently, Halo uses like the Havoc physics engine, which my understanding is you can use it in Unreal, but it like has complications. So like, I think it's possible, but would require some good dev work to make it like feel good and be well optimized. Which that's a
Which I mean, that shouldn't be an issue because like I'm sure there's games and devs that have worked with Unreal Engine and Havoc. Right?
Probably, yeah,
Like,
probably.
because those are very commonly used.
Yeah. You definitely have
things,
like
you know
a
what I mean?
lot more options now to find like. Whereas
People,
before you
qualified
probably
people.
had like 4 people
Nobody
that knew what the
worked with
fuck was going
Slipspace.
on. Yeah,
Right.
you had like a handful of people that knew what the fuck was going on with Slipspace. Now you can find like any developer that has made a game in the past 10 years, and they'll probably be pretty good at Unreal. So like it'll be much easier, I think, 1, to find employees, but like 2, like to also like I guess just to find employees, but like there would be more incentive for
Find
them to
contractors.
want to find contractors for sure. But like, yeah, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe the Halo game won't feel like Halo, but like honestly, do we care? I just want a
At
good
this
game.
point, something needs to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't hate this at all. Like, there needs to be something going on. And
A big change like that might be what Halo needs, but
yeah, and that's a big
You know.
change. And there's been a lot of restructuring at 343, so that's a big change as well. So who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see.
think-
I don't have much faith, but
I think the
Neither
thing
do
that
I.
like,
Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be. I don't
I
have
don't-
any faith for the battle royale mode. It's gonna
I'm
be an
more-
empty fucking map with like basic looting. It's gonna be boring as shit. It's gonna be like all the other failed shitty fucking battle royales that came out over the years. They're just way too late, and like I don't know. I don't think. I don't know, but yeah.
was gonna say I had more hope when the rumors were going around that 343 was gonna just become a publisher, and other developers were gonna make
Dude,
Halo.
I was like, nice, finally some good Halo news, but then it was just
Yeah.
not
I
really.
was like,
They had to crush that real quick.
they
No, we're
they
still gonna
said
make
that
Halo.
they're not
It
gonna
was
be-
like a threat when they posted that. I felt personally threatened by that. We gotta keep making Halo games, and you fucking like it, dude.
All right, we gotta shout out Mr. Delta, dude. He's just being a legend in chat.
Yeah,
But,
he needs to calm down.
yeah,
He's
he
going a
keeps-
little too hard.
He's going hard in the paint. But Delta, my understanding is there was a lot of discussion on how switching to Unreal would go, and it sounds like there was actually a big. My understanding is there was a big divide at 343. Some people thought they should stick with Slipspace, and some people thought they should go to Unreal. Obviously, the people who thought they should go to Unreal won out, supposedly. But like, so I'm sure they talked it to death. I mean, maybe there's even like tests out there like, hey, throw some shit together. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it could be good in the long run. I think the biggest thing that like the biggest question is like, what the fuck are we gonna get now? Like, again, I think we're rebooting. Like, we're just gonna roll the dice and see what the fuck type of Halo game comes out. Like,
rebooting the reboot.
again, there will be no continuity between Halo games in terms of mechanics. Again, like this will probably be something totally different.
Again.
Yeah. So we'll hope this one hits, and then now we'll have Halo 4 fans, Halo 5 fans, Classic fans, Halo Infinite fans, and Halo 7 fans. Like it's just gonna be all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's just going to be upset.
Yep.
It's just crazy to think like we waited like 6 years between Halo 5 and Infinite. 6 years, and it's like we're just starting over again. I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't wait to.
It's like
read
how
in the
long
podcast.
how long is this going to take to get a good Halo game? And that's another thing. Like, you know,
Halo has been bad for longer than it's been good.
right? Like, you know, I'm not getting any younger. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want a good Halo game when I'm 45. I want it now. And by now, I mean a decade ago. Like, what are we
Money
doing?
hates
Like,
Get
at the
in there, old
retirement
man,
home.
grind for that 50.
we'll all be retired, dude. We'll be able to finally get 50 again, dude. It's gonna be so hype, dude.
What's
We'll
gonna happen?
hit it
First, are
for
you gonna
land.
hit 50 or are you gonna hit 50?
Oh my god.
yeah, right.
Oh no!
Oh no, don't put it like that, dude.
Oh man!
Oh my god.
Welcome to Halo 8.
That hit way too hard, dude.
Dude, that you know what? I think it's 50-50. You know, it could go either way.
50-50 to get 50 before you're 50.
Oh,
Hey, I'm
shit.
only like halfway there.
But
So.
yeah, so
Man.
I do have to ask. Like, I feel like this time period right now, and I feel like we've had this discussion every time a Halo game has come out recently, but this has to be like the most down bad Halo has ever been, right? Because like when Halo 4 came out and it was kind of like iffy, you know, we already were all looking forward to Halo 5, like thinking 343 was gonna right their wrongs because it was their first game, and like it had its it had its good parts. It just also had a lot of bads. And then Halo MCC comes out and it's literally broken, and you're like, okay, but whatever. Halo 5 comes out next year. Halo 5 comes out and it again kind of hit or miss, but some people like it, some people don't. But you're like, that's okay. You know, we're waiting for Halo 6, which in turn became Halo Infinite, which then came out 6 years later, comes out, pretty much flops out of the gate. And now we're stuck. We're rebooting again. We're switching to a different engine. Like, we have no clue when Halo is ever coming out again. Like, it's probably, you have to imagine, it's like 3+ years minimum down the line. So it's like, what are we looking forward to? What, like,
Plus,
what?
I think 3 release is like no shot we'll see a new Halo in 3 years.
No, it's
right?
probably like 5+, but
we'll,
like,
we'll see Elder Scrolls 6 and maybe Fallout 5 before maybe.
yeah. But yeah, for
No,
the
I
next,
agree.
like,
This is the most down bad it's been, and like
It just-
also after Halo 5, you know, they fixed up MCC eventually, and it got some really cool updates. And then even back in the day after Halo 4 launched, you still had the legacy Halo titles to play. So right now you don't have those, and Infinite's not in a good state, and Halo 5's not on PC for people that enjoy that. So yeah, it's pretty bad right now for Halo.
MCC took forever to fix too, which is if they fixed MCC like they fixed it in 2020, I guess in like 2015, dude, it would have been big. But like I don't know, it took them what 2014, 6 years to fix MCC,
yeah.
like somewhat. So I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, maybe it's the word. I will agree. It's the most down bad it's ever been. But I want to say it's been just a steady decline since.
Yeah,
Halo
Yeah, I
4
mean,
for me.
I feel
Yeah.
like every game since Halo 4 had its little like spurt, you know, where like you had the hype of the new game and then it kind of dwindled again. But you always had like that next spurt to like look forward to. You're like, oh, you know, maybe we get it right next time. Like, I mean, a lot of people like were relatively excited for Infinite. I mean, a lot of 20 million players played it, right? It was the biggest Halo launch in history. Like, clearly there was hype behind it, and now it's like, I think like until something is announced or something, it's just like there's nothing even to look forward to unless, because you can't really play Halo 5. Like, it exists on Xbox, but the player base is fucking dead. You can play MCC sort of, depending on what you like to play. If you like to play ranked, you're gonna play the same 10 people every single match, so have fun. And if
This is true. Can confirm.
you can play Infinite if you still enjoy that, but like obviously a lot of people don't, which is why it's in the state that it is, right? So there's just not a whole lot to even like fall back on at the moment, because like all of the Halo games have lost all their players over the years.
They have all been so drastically different from each other that they can't maintain a solid fan base because, Halo 4 was not good from the classic Halos. Halo 5 was completely different from Halo 4, and Infinite was different from Halo 5 because, like, the movement, cracked out legends can't, like, zoom past ninja people and do crazy moves. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
another thing with all the different games and them being so different. Like, it's spread the player base, too thin. Because
Oh,
you have
for
these
sure.
different versions of Halo, classic Halo, enhanced Halo, something in the middle with Infinite. So you have all these different types of Halo fans.
Yeah.
That's what I loved. That's why I thought Infinite was just gonna be like the right move, because it seemed like it's a nice blend between classic and modern Halos. I think the 10-year plan life source actually, honestly, I thought was the right move to do with Halo, because I think the biggest issue with the franchise was that they had to keep iterating and making something new out of the game. When, I mean, we all have our opinions of which Halo's the best Halo, but I would think we all kind of agree that like the peak of it was Halo 3, and like, how do you make Halo 3 better besides just like minor updates, like maybe removing like random bullet deviation from the battle rifle? Like, that's not gonna like get people excited to buy a new Halo game. So they made Reach and people didn't like it,
Here's the
Yeah,
thing
but-
though with Reach. Like, it was also different, right? But it was after like Bungie made like 3 or 4 similar games, right? So like, I don't know, it didn't have to stay different, right? It was just a spin-off that was different, right?
Yeah, I feel like
So like Halo could have easily gone back to like Halo 3 gameplay after.
I don't think spin-off would be the right word to use when it comes to Reach. Like, that was a full-fledged like new Halo game. Like, that was supposed to be basically like,
It
replace
was,
Halo
but
3.
it felt like they were more loose with like, I don't know, the way they made it. It wasn't
like
as strictly
ODST
like
is a spin-off game.
yeah. ODST was supposed to be the Peter Jackson game, by the way.
Yeah, I remember hearing something. I think you guys made a video about that, didn't you, or something?
Maybe. I remember Marty spoke on it recently. It was something like they were contracted to do Reach and the Peter Jackson game. Then the Peter Jackson game fell through.
Yeah.
And apparently they thought they didn't have to do another game, but Microsoft was like, And so they came up with ODST, which was supposed to be a $40 expansion. But then Microsoft moved it back to a holiday release and was like, $60.
But what
that's how
if
ODST
we
came in.
charge full price instead?
Yeah. That's how ODST came to be. And Halo Reach was supposed to be Halo 4 at the contract stages, if that makes sense.
But totally makes sense.
Hey, but I learned from a TikTok the other day that the only reason Halo sucks is because Sony bought Bungie, and therefore they can't save Halo. So I don't know,
Dude,
man.
these console
that's what I
fans, these
learned.
console warriors are a little confused, dude. a little.
That's like Sony big brain play right there, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude,
That's
that was the biggest brain pull.
Dude,
They're like this
fuck
Microsoft
features.
franchise is dead as fuck, dude. All right, we'll buy a dev that doesn't even want to work on it anymore. That'll show them.
Yeah, that has we will buy the dev that left because they didn't want to work on the game anymore.
No, Sony fucking bought Destiny because it's Bungie
Good
because
game.
they make a fucking gigantic live service game and also like have a lot, like supposedly are working on a bunch of stuff. Plus, like from like Bungie's point of view, I mean, if they utilize like Sony's push in like marketing, I mean, it makes sense for both of them. But All right, I think that's Halo. Any final thoughts on Halo? I guess we could talk about the leaks. During our talk about this, I stopped caring about the leaks.
Someone,
Yeah.
here's the thing. When the game released, we made like a 20-minute video on all the cut weapons and cut vehicles you could find in the files, right?
Yeah.
Nothing of that is in the game.
Yeah.
Not a single fucking piece
So I'm gonna
of shit. So
just for
I
the
don't know.
people watching that care, mute the stream if you don't want leaks. I'm just gonna rapid fire read through these because I don't know if they're true, and then we're gonna move on because I don't actually care anymore. There's multiple.
I'm a news
map-
guy and I
there-
don't care.
Yeah, there's 3 maps. One of them you could probably find the image of if it hasn't gotten DMCA striked. There's a new main menu that you could find on YouTube if you look hard enough. The AI dude is going to play a big part in Infection. There's supposedly a double barrel shotgun. That's probably fake. There's the shroud screen and translocator, which are both things we've seen leaked before. The shroud screen we've seen from 343. Infection is supposedly coming, probably season 4, but leakers are telling you season 3, so you can listen to whoever you want. There's supposedly Firefight. I refuse to believe that's real. And let's see what else we got here. Water is in Forge, and there's AI in Forge, which also probably isn't coming anytime soon. So there you go. There's the leaks. Here, I'll even put this in chat. You can read this yourself, and you can think to yourself about how these will probably never come out. So, all right, that's Halo leaks, and we're moving on. All right.
The down bad news right there.
All right. So speaking of Xbox franchises that are down bad, dude, time to talk about Gears of War. So supposedly the Coalition was working on multiple other games that weren't Gears of War games, and those have all been canceled, and now Gears of War 6 will be their next game. So we are getting a Gears 6, and I don't know when exactly, but it's coming. So what do you guys think about that?
Is it just going to be a single player game?
Yeah, I was gonna say Gears to me does not need a multiplayer anymore. The glory days of anyone wanting to play Gears multiplayer is over.
It's super
if they
niche.
remaster Gears of War 3, maybe they can get away with remastering the multiplayer and maybe people will play it, but I feel like that won't hold players either. So like I don't know. What was the co-op one? Was that Gears 5? I remember
5 was co-op, 4 was
They're
co-op.
all co-op. What do you mean?
Okay,
all
I think I
for
played
co-op.
5 and I played like 2 hours of it and I couldn't really get into
Yeah.
the story. So I don't know. I assume for me Gear 6 won't be much different. So
I mean, yeah, so Gears is a single player game to me, and I do always play the single player for Gears. So I'm glad they're making a 6. I mean, the story was kind of a cliffhanger. It didn't wrap things up in 5, so they're kind of needed to be a 6. So yeah, I'll look forward to playing the campaign, but the multiplayer is just not for me. I think it's super niche and it's just not that special.
Also, from what I understand, they were already working on Gear 6. There's just like a small amount of people working on 2 other games, and when they were like laid off or fired or whatever, they're just like, okay, well, let's just cancel those and everyone focus on this now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So
yeah, it's hard for me to believe they weren't gonna make a Gear 6.
No, I think they were gonna anyways, but they were gonna.
Studio's only open so they can make a Gears with a higher number. Like,
I will say though, like, I feel like forcing, and maybe they're not forced, but like creating these developers that literally only get to make one IP forever, I feel like is why games get so stale. Because like, who the fuck wants to work on the same game for the rest of their life? Like that's why like heads leave and they move on to other projects and they try and start their own studios because they want to do something new. They don't want to.
It's about creativity a lot of times too, right? Like a creative outlet.
Yeah, so I'm not saying like Microsoft should be like, oh, make whatever the fuck you want, but like I feel like it would be healthy for video games if you let the Coalition or 343 before they fired like a bunch of people, like if you let them go like, hey, make whatever the fuck you want, your next game has to be Halo, your next game has to be Gears, but like then they could try new shit and they could like flex their creativity and maybe make something better than the game that they've been created, to make that whole time. And so like I don't know how far along those were. I don't know how many people were working on them. Like they could have been very, very nowhere near like anything resembling.
It might just be looked at as too much of a risk.
I mean, it probably is.
That is true.
That's the problem. Is AAA gaming has become so expensive that games have to sell a fuck ton of copies to recoup their money.
Wasn't it that like when they did like the most recent, not the most recent, but the last Tomb Raider game, right? That actually sold like a few million copies, but it just didn't like recover costs, and so that's why they haven't seen like a sequel in a long
So
time.
supposedly, Amazon's going to put out a new one. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, really?
Supposedly,
no.
Yeah, they bought the rights to Tomb
they bought the
Raider.
rights to Tomb Raider, and they have some developer that's supposedly working on it. But yeah, I don't know. On that same point though, there was the Marvel, what's it called, like Marvel Sunset Suns or something, the Marvel XCOM game that came out recently, Midnight Suns, which is supposedly like a critically acclaimed game, but it flopped commercially, and so like it's another thing where it's just like these AAA games, they have to sell so much to make their money back, and unfortunately, like I think you see a lot of these games don't do that. I mean, I haven't played Midnight Suns, so I don't know if it was any good. I love XCOM, but I didn't play this one, so maybe it was bad. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's probably it. Is like these publishers don't want to take risks on new games because you know Gear 6 will sell copies. You know Halo 7 will sell copies. You know Forza whatever the fuck will sell copies. You know Call of Duty 2023 will sell copies. Like you don't. I guess you don't have to try anything new if you could just ship out the same IP again.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
also you got to think about it. There's many great movies, right, that failed commercially too, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's not an uncommon thing for art to like not make back its money
For sure.
in a way for entertainment art, I guess. So like I don't know. I'm pretty sure like Blade Runner 2049 wasn't very successful, but I thought it was a great movie. And like I don't know. I think Fight Club initially also wasn't a big box office hit, but like I don't know. There's a bunch of like the best movies of all time that like failed at the box office, kind of.
Actually, I remember like the original Austin Powers, if I remember correctly, didn't actually do so hot in the box office.
And that's a
then, like,
fucking funny as fuck movie.
yeah, but then it did crazy on the VHS sales. Back in the day.
That's I guess that's an option games won't get because Rumbleverse will shut down. There will never be like a resurgence of Rumbleverse. But yeah.
Yeah, Ash, you mentioned how like all these games, they're gonna sell copies regardless, which is true. But like I feel like back in the day, like even back in the day, you could always say like Halo 3 was gonna sell, or Call of Duty 4 would sell regardless, and stuff like that. But I feel like there was more of there was just more reason people were like. It just feels like developers like they innovated more. Like with Halo 3, that was going to sell regardless if it had Forge and Theater and stuff like that, but they did it anyway.
Yeah.
World at War would have sold regardless if it did Nazi zombies, but they did it. It just feels like now there's just the innovation is gone. I
think
Yeah,
right
it's
now
just
they're struggling.
copying.
I think right now they're just struggling to make get the game out the door.
but I feel like it's been this way for a while.
Yeah.
And it sucks because now it feels like a lot of AAA games just like, I mean, I hate the fucking chasing trend term, but like they kind of do it. Right now we have like this leaked Halo Infinite Battle Royale that's probably like gonna come out next year maybe, and it's gonna be like 5 years too late of the Battle Royale craze, right? And then like it's like a lot of wasted time. When like, what if they spent 5 years on innovating? You know what I mean? What if they spent the same resources of innovating some Halo game? That would have probably turned out better, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's all like woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I mean,
I guess so. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
It is what it is.
Halo sucks right now and might continue to suck, but it doesn't really matter. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, I think that wraps up all the big news. We have a new little section in the podcast now where we answer people's questions. So for the next podcast, if you want to submit questions, I will put out a tweet before the podcast where you can respond with your questions. So we did that this time. So we don't have a ton of questions here because most people probably didn't know. But we'll run through these real quick and then we'll wrap up the podcast and then we'll see you all next time. All right, so the first one, 360 said, would a Marathon remake in CE or H3 using mods not be the most baller thing ever? What do you guys think?
I never played Marathon, so...
Me either.
But
that's what I responded. I've never played Marathon, but that would be fun.
so like a mod for MCC?
Yeah, basically. I feel like
that could be cool, but that could be cool, but how close are you going to really get it to Marathon? Like, and I mean,
And do you want to play in that
how
one?
special was Marathon even to begin with? You know what I mean? It was kind of just
It's like sci-fi
overshadowed by
Doom.
Doom, and
Yeah.
It was alright.
mean,
I think people just liked Marathon because they're like, I remember classic Halo, and I played through all what to do next, played their older games then, and then they're like, yeah, it's actually pretty good too for the time. But like, I mean, apparently the rumors are that Bungie is working on a new Marathon game or something like that, right? But it's
Yeah,
like
the extraction shooter.
that's
extraction shooter,
exciting. That's
Ooh.
exciting.
yeah.
Like that they're rebooting Marathon. I mean, I'm not a big extraction shooter guy, but maybe maybe I'll be
Well,
interested
you
in
need to
that game.
start playing some DMZ with a ration then, and then we'll convert you.
That's true, dude. You can join
So let's
us.
play Tarkov.
All right. All right. H would asked
Easy,
about
Mr.
Halo.
Sweaty.
Yeah,
I'll
dude, come
I'll
on.
take any of you guys through Tarkov if you ever feel
Dude,
like
Tarkov is scary. Okay.
it is, but
Not
that's
ready.
the appeal of it.
Yeah. All right. H would asked about Halo leaks. We talked about that, so I don't feel like we have to do it. Evolved asked, who would you rather have make the next Halo? Current Bungie or current 343?
Current
Current
Bungie.
343.
Earn Bungie.
I'd take the risk at this
Yeah,
point. I mean, but
yeah.
current Bungie is not what old Bungie was for sure. I'm not, like I recognize that, but at this point, I'd take a lot of different companies over 343 just to try something. It might be
Just to
worse.
get
That's true.
something different.
Yeah, we've seen
know,
the
like,
343
just try something.
experience multiple times, so yeah, I'm down to roll the dice and see. But yeah, just to be clear, I don't think like when people are like, dude, we need Bungie back. Like I don't think Bungie would be the savior of Halo. This is purely like choose A or B, and I would have chose A every single time unless it was like the guys making the day before. Which
You know
fucking-
what? This
maybe
is
they
why I
should make
say-
Halo.
If the next Halo was live service, I would take Bungie. If it was single player only, I would take 343.
I believe that, yeah. But then
Yeah.
also, I mean, have you guys played Crucible?
Oh,
Yes.
Bungie
Well,
PvP or
let's not
Destiny
talk about
PvP
that.
is a shit show. So.
It's horrible. I saw
Alright.
BK
Yeah.
in chat like talking.
Yeah, I don't
highly
know
of
how
it.
that
Now,
is fulfilling
shit
your arena shooter
that
itch,
shit
dude.
So
is
unbalanced.
awful.
It's and it's been awful since Destiny 1. Like it's never gonna get any better.
When D2 launched, there was a moment where like there wasn't a lot of weapons and it was a much simpler game and I enjoyed that, but then it got a little crazy and a bunch of overpowered shit and no.
I think that's the issue though, that there's like so many different weapon varieties in the game that they gotta balance it all, and it's like impossible.
Oh,
they kind
yeah.
of give up.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I
when
mean,
you,
I'll give them
when
the
you have
benefit of
like
the doubt
a
on
set
that.
sandbox, it's a little better.
Yeah, I mean, that's like any MMO that has PvP. It's always fucked balance-wise. It's impossible to balance all that shit for PvP.
Yeah.
So something will always be like stupid and meta and broken. All right, next question by Yeehaw. What would it take for a Halo Battle Royale to do well? I would just prefer we didn't get one because at this point I don't care. But what would it take to do well? Probably innovation to actually make it worthwhile playing. Because if it's just Warzone but with a Halo skin or Apex with a Halo skin,
Yeah.
then why the fuck would I play that over those other games that are going to have way more content and be around for years? So
Yeah, because they had the leg up on a Halo
Yeah.
Battle Royale, is that they've been in a game in development for multiple years. They've gone through their overpowered phases, they've gone through like their content droughts, they've gone through their buggy issues and stuff like that. Now they're kind of just like cruising for the most part. I mean, Warzone 2, yeah, I've heard that's been having its issues, but like the game still functions pretty well. And it's still relatively fun. People just don't like being, the Zoomers just don't like not being able to zoom.
I don't know.
But,
I got
like-
pretty tilted earlier, Kevin, when I walked into a building and some dude just crouched in a corner, fucking just waiting with his headset cranked, his fucking nachos. He was just waiting for me.
Oh yeah. The reels were going strong with that guy
Dude,
for sure.
he
definitely got
was
the
probably had
double
me on a
XP
fucking
tokens.
big screen TV in his living room, like 80 incher. The dude was laying on his couch like, with his fucking
at this
headset
guy.
cranked to full volume. Dude, he was just ready for me to walk into that building. But yeah, all right. Next question: what percentage of the group has Halo Infinite uninstalled? I still have it installed.
I still haven't installed.
I
have it
had it
installed.
uninstalled for a while. It's reinstalled now. I needed footage, but
Yeah, dude.
I think when you
But
say
it
you have it
was
installed, as in
uninstalled.
like you're installed, as in like you're playing it though.
I played the Forge playlist.
Yeah, I did too.
That's it. Like you hopped in and played that. So yeah,
Yeah, I played 2 games. I recorded the video and I closed it. So I still haven't played half the maps, but I got my fill. So I'll be back next season.
Nice.
And I'll record the same type of video for season 3, and then I'll be back in season 4.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing about the season 3 content for Halo. But it's like it would been a great season a year ago.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
forever ago. All right, last question. If 343 or whatever make a great Halo game that was as good as CE2 or 3, would that be enough to revive the franchise, or is it already too late with all the bad rep and how far Halo has fallen? I guess I'll just answer this and you guys can chime in. I feel like the internet instantly forgets the moment you do something well. So if you actually make a good game, no one will even care that the last 4 were dog shit.
That's true. I would agree with that. But then also,
people will play a good game if you make a good game, right?
Yeah,
Like-
I think a good Halo like could absolutely do well in like the current climate.
actually, my biggest fear with Halo is that like it's such an old franchise, right? And everyone knows how play Halo is supposed to play at least, right? But
Mhm.
could it, like, I don't know, it's like, is there any potential if we already hit like max possible player count kind of stuff, and really we're just trying to just please like that group of people who are never gonna leave, unless you like have some significant changes that make it like Fortnite or something. I don't know, but like that was always maybe my biggest concern even before Infinite's launch was that like, but like Halo's been out for 2 decades. Like everyone who has played a shooter knows what Halo is and it's made up their mind whether or not they like Halo.
But
I mean,
Halo
maybe-
in
go
recent
ahead.
years isn't what Halo was then, so maybe they're just waiting for that old Halo experience to come back.
You're
So
just
that's
waiting
kind
for
of how I
one
look
Halo
at it.
game to release complete. Just one game. I just want to see one Halo game that has everything at launch.
Whoa, dude, easy there, easy. Let's take a step back. That's a
We'll
lot.
never know how it's gonna do until that happens.
And of course, we can always, point to a game like Counter-Strike, which is just everyone knows what Counter-Strike is, and the game's still like one of the most popular games today. Same thing, playing the same maps and stuff. Like, but it's just good. It's just good. Like if Halo 3 was just like the last Halo game, and that was just being support. Well, if it was built to be like like a live service game, and that was being supported this whole time, I absolutely think that would be still big today if that was still getting updates and stuff like that. But we had all
agree
these
with that,
other
yeah.
games that's split the player base too thin and created all these different versions of Halo, and now everybody wants something different.
Well, you're not wrong. If they never made a different version of Halo, people would probably never want a different version of Halo.
Yeah, there would be no like advanced mobility Halo. That wouldn't even be a thing. There would be no
like,
343 Halo. Like that wouldn't be something. Like there would just be Halo.
I mean, but that's what I was kind of getting at too. Also, when I mentioned previously, saying like, Reach and Beyond had to innovate just to justify its existence, because then that people would just be complaining that it's like Halo 3.5.
I mean, I don't know that it had to. A lot of the Call of Duty games were very similar, and they continued to be successful. It was kind of like, I mean, everybody, criticized or said that about Call of Duty. It's like the same game, but they still did very well. I think if they just, refined some of the things about Halo 3 and just, added some new maps and stuff like that, improved
Innovate in
the
different ways,
forge,
like interactive
and-
maps. The whole map becomes flooded, or I don't
stuff
know.
like that. Do
Expand
some
on the
more
PvE
things.
experience.
I would also say though, Call of Duty has the benefit of trying out different eras. Like going to World War II, going advanced jetpack, going to modern day or near modern day kind of stuff, or super futuristic and stuff like that. Where like you can't really do that with Halo, like unless you want to try doing like some like 20, 21, 25 version of Halo where it's like you're just fighting like buff Marines or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I-
well, they
I
did
do
do
agree
the
with that.
advanced. They
Mhm.
did do the advanced Halo, and I mean,
Yeah.
Halo 5. So they did do something like that.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
didn't have
true.
like a different aesthetic, but it did.
But
I'm saying
the
like
end of
I'm saying like you always have a battle rifle. You always have the assault rifle, the pistol,
True.
and they
I
always
mean, you could
basically
do
play out
different
the same.
guns.
Where like in Call of Duty, like you can borrow guns from those different eras, right? Like, and
You
even
don't
though
always have
specifically
the
they're
BR
all-
though. You don't always have the
Yeah.
AR though. Halo 2 didn't have an AR. Reach didn't have a BR.
But even
I'm
with
just
like
saying
Call
this,
of Duty,
like-
people look back and want like the old good guns from those older games back. Like a lot of the time, they don't even like the newer guns.
I feel like the Call of Duty guns
yeah.
just fall into different like tropes anyways. There's always like high recoil, high damage assault rifle, mid recoil, mid damage assault rifle, low recoil, low damage assault rifle, single shot assault rifle, and then you have like SMG that shreds everyone, and then like other SMG. Like, and then there's like one shot sniper rifle, other sniper rifles. Like, yeah, they have like different skins and they sound different and they act a little different, but like if we're being honest, like you could probably like take a World War II COD game and like 1-to-1 which gun fits into which role. Like the MP44 or whatever from World at War is like the equivalent of like the M4 or whatever in COD 4, right? Like
Yeah, they're more
have-
similar.
they have different
Like
guns
guns
but-
in Halo are more different from one another. More variety there. But yeah, at the end, just to wrap back, I absolutely think like a good traditional Halo game could do extremely well today. And I'd feel more confident saying that, like, a couple years ago, like, as time goes on, maybe that'll become less true. But yeah, I don't know.
Alrighty. Well, I think that does it for the podcast. It was a good one. We're a little bit over 2 hours, so I think we wrap up. I appreciate everyone for watching. If you are watching, I will post the podcast on podcast platforms in a day or two. Go 5-star review it, because you're a legend. Other than that, thanks again to Delta for single-handedly sponsoring the entire podcast. So he's our new sponsor. We don't actually need sponsors anymore. We just have Delta, so we're set.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, yeah, what are you guys going to be up to coming up soon, Jared?
Let's see. I have 4 videos planned in the next, I think, 10 days. So that should be fun. 3 reviews. some
Jared
first
on the
impressions.
grind.
Yeah, there's not going to be much sleep in my future. Then after that, I'll actually be back to working my normal job. So, I'll be busy like 60 hours a week. Probably won't have much time to make videos then. So we'll see what happens.
That's rough. All right, Kevin, what are you up to?
Still on the GameStop content grind, on the YouTube content grind as well. Playing some more Call of Duty, probably playing Halo whenever there's something new happening with that. Try to get back into Dead Space and feel guilty about never finishing Cyberpunk. That's probably gonna be me for the next week.
I need to finish Dead Space. I played like a couple hours and I haven't gone back. I have abandoned
so
Hi-Fi
good.
Rush though. If anyone wants to know, I will not be going back to that game.
Real issue.
I'm too rhythm challenged, dude. I'm done. I got too pissed off last time. It's uninstalled. So,
Damn.
Pop Q, what's the Halo 3 queues look like in the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I'll probably just continue playing some Halo 3 MCP, playing the same 10 people, like you said. That's really what that game is. But actually, I was planning on trying out, hopping back into Modern Warfare 2 for Season 2, but the thing what they're doing with, like, the maps, where we're not really getting any new maps, pisses me off, so I don't know what I'm doing. But content-wise, I'll probably just keep focusing on the YouTube, and I still plan on streaming one day. I still plan on doing that, but I'll see
You
when
have
we're
like
out
the
there.
fancy camera and the fancy lighting, and you just never stream. But I guess you do
Yeah.
use your webcam in videos, so I guess it works out.
I do. Like one of the reasons I haven't streamed is because I gotta like fix my mic settings for like live streams and stuff. I had it all set at one point, right? And that's when I did that my last stream where I just hopped on and played some Call of Duty like a month ago. But after that, all the settings I had for it just reset randomly. So now I got to do it again. I don't even know what I had it at. But yeah,
Perfect.
I've been actually having this issue with Call of Duty where like only in DMZ where my mouse sensitivity will like just divide in half or multiply by half. It's really
what the
weird.
fuck?
that is
Yeah.
so weird.
I don't
That's
know
good, dude.
why, but it's like it's not. I have the
Well,
game.
you just deal with it. You just
You just,
No, I
you
just-
just accept
I
it, dude.
just multiply my sensitivity by 2 or divide it by
okay.
2.
All right. Delta dropped another $1, so he just continues to be a legend. Luke, what are you up to these days?
Probably just gonna play Siege.
Perfect.
Oh,
When
yeah.
are we playing more?
We can play more right now.
All
Like
right.
right after this.
Can I play on MNK though? XCloud's terrible.
Yeah, we can play. No, we can play PC Siege.
Yeah, PC Siege is. I mean, I'm don't care enough to like actually get invested. But the game or two that we played, I had an okay time. But
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad game. It's
no, it's fine. I just don't want to actually learn how to play
non
it.
Counter Strike game that is like Counter Strike that I ever could get into.
Yeah, I
You
feel that. All right. Yeah. Okay. I think that's the podcast. I'll just be posting videos on this channel. I don't really have any plans for my main channel in the near future. I gave up after my COD 4 video flopped, so maybe next year we'll try again, dude. But the forehead cam is the new cam, dude. This is like the extra webcam that's on top of my monitor, BK, and it's way too high. So it's perfect though. It's got the Nick Merckx energy, so I'm trying to psych, dude. Perfect, dude. We can all get the
I was gonna say that you're going like that's a true pro gamer.
Yeah, this is
the forehead.
I'm trying to be like Nick Merckx. I'm hoping that just doing this alone will bring in a couple extra 100 viewers. So
Yeah, no, I like it.
Why do you use two different cams? Because in the other layout, you're using your other
yeah.
cam.
So in this layout, this is purely because I screen cap Discord, right? Because I haven't made an overlay yet. So for you guys to see me on Discord, it has to be this camera because you can't use multiple cameras. Jesus, Luke. But like on this screen, right? This screen has my regular webcam. But yeah, that's the only reason I have two, is just because I plugged this one in so you guys could see my beautiful face while we talked. And by my beautiful face, I guess I mean my forehead.
Your forehead, yes.
I love your forehead.
That's all we need.
All right. Well, thank you
I
again,
love that.
everyone, for watching the podcast. The viewership on this one was actually pretty pog, so appreciate everyone. We'll be back in 2 weeks to do the same old thing. I think this is probably the format going forward. It'll just kind of be what we're doing, what we're playing, news, and then like if a topic really strikes me, we might do a topic specific podcast. But yeah, that's it. Kevin, are you streaming?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not actually.
Okay.
Never mind. That was a lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna read you, but I guess I won't. So
Kevin just heard the prospect of getting a raid. He was like, "Yeah, I'm streaming." Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well, usually I am when I'm doing the podcast.
I know. I
I'm just
figured
kinda
you were.
chilling. But then I got distracted by pizza. Was the problem?
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair, dude. I don't blame
The
you.
pizza
Actually,
priorities
I kind of
kicked in.
want some.
The
food,
downfall
dude.
of men.
Yeah. All right. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'll be back Saturday, but the podcast in a couple weeks. So Saturday, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I kind of want to play Rumble Versus because I feel like it'll just be dead, or is already dead. So I want to try and play it before it's totally dead. But yeah, I don't know. All right. Anyways, goodbye, everyone.
Bye bye.